everybody, and welcome back to a lovely little live show, courtesy of your friends at Covenant TCG Incorporated.
Inc.
True Community Gamers, that was right. That was the original thing. Zach is wearing that shirt because it is the 10-year anniversary of our most recent kind of logo design, right? Isn't that why you did that?
Yeah, it's the C logo that we use. Yeah. It's also, this Friday is the 10-year anniversary of that logo. This Friday is also the 10-year anniversary of 2.0 opening.
Our second iteration local game store.
That's right. And about a month ago was the 5-year anniversary of it being closed temporarily for the pandemic.
Incredible.
And here we are in hot pursuit of, I don't want to say perfection, but perfection with 3.0.
That's right.
We are getting somewhere.
We're getting real close.
I'll say this about 3.0 for anyone wondering. We are closer now than we've ever been.
Would you say, okay, so if Hubworld does, let's say Andrew is being very conservative, accounting for all delays, etc., 2027, January, throw it on the thing. It's possible that the first big Hubworld event is hosted at Covenant 3.0, 2027.
The Hub World Championship? Hubworld? Hubworlds. It's right there in the stars.
Oh my gosh, we did it.
I mean, it is possible.
It's possible.
I don't, given everything we've been through, I don't like publicly saying almost anything at this point. However,
that's why I'm here.
The
unfiltered mouth.
Force me to
the unfiltered mouth of Covenant.
Put that in your bio and stick it.
I do kind of look like that kind of guy, like in a wrestling match.
Put that
I look like
the
Stephen the Mouth Woolley.
I just want to get this on the official record. You remember when this week in a meeting, Jonathan was like, "Turns out, Zach, you were right. So put that in your pipe and smoke it," or whatever he said. He's like, "Eat it." It's like, you were right. And it's like, what do you?
Yeah,
you like them apples?
Being right all the time.
What are you on about?
Yeah. I think we should change Steven's official position to the mouth of Team Covenant.
The mouth of Team Covenant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the mouth.
Chief mouth.
You know what? All of the different heads
CMO, dude.
should have body parts associated with them. So that can be the hands of Team. Well, actually, the opposite is probably the hands.
Yeah.
I don't know what I am.
Hands and
the feet.
Zach's the CBO. He's the Chief Brain Officer.
He's the brain of Team Covenant.
Officer.
Steven's the mouth of Team Covenant.
I don't know if
it all works
the
out.
brain.
Who's the Chief Heart Officer? Julie?
Is there a soul officer?
It's got to be Julie.
Soul officer. Hey, we're going to play Hubworld. We're not just going to talk about nothing. We're going to play Hubworld. We're going to play the preview decks. We have swapped in. We've cut Likely a Trap because we all know
it's a trap.
It's a trap.
That is a card meant for constructed if it's meant for anything.
And we have added this beautiful version of Salvage Rats instead.
Yeah. It's the no-R version.
So we're all running Salvage Rats today.
Salvage Rats. No-R version. Come on.
This is an awesome preview. I love the art on this card. Not this art, but the art that you see in full color.
Can we pop it?
On the card.
Yeah, but not yet.
On Salvage. We can't pop it yet. I can cut Jonathan off guard. Because he's not the hands.
I was waiting for you guys. You were supposed to talk at the beginning.
Yeah, we're talking. We're doing that. So we're playing Hubworld. We're going to talk about the Gamefound campaign. We're going to go through the Gamefound campaign and scroll through it on a computer.
Boy, I have some things to say.
Like y'all would.
I'll say these things publicly.
Zach has a lot of thoughts, I'm sure, about Price, where he's gonna, act like dad. And be like, kids, you don't understand what it's like to.
Maybe that's instead of body parts. That's how we should.
You get a job, and
Chief Dad.
You think you've got it bad. This is a cheap product
back
for
in
what
my
you're
day,
getting.
before we had a logo.
Hamburger for 30 cents.
Yeah, I never experienced that.
Andrew's probably in the chat. Andrew Navarro's probably in the chat. Andrew Fisher's probably in the chat.
Corey's definitely in the chat.
Probably in the
Davi's
chat.
in the chat.
Corey.
So direct all your negative commentary about the game to Corey there in the live chat.
Yeah, so basically positive
We'll
comments,
be doing the same.
Go to Covenant Discord Hubworld channel. Negative, go to Earthborn Discord Hubworld General channel.
Or what? Corey at earthborn.com. You can send direct feedback there. If they do their emails like we do, then it's pretty easy to figure out.
How to get a hold of someone.
Yep. And then we're gonna play, and we're gonna talk and play. That's what the internet's for. That's what videos do.
Talking and playing.
And we'll clarify any questions anybody has about the Gamefound to the best of our ability.
Said back when we had to pay $120 for our 3 core sets.
That's what I want to really kind of talk about, and that was back before the world went crazy. There was no inflationary stuff. There was no tariff stuff. The money has gotten, the finance wheel money's gotten cheaper. It goes less far because inflation, dollar's worth less.
I have a lot to say, and I don't want to do. Are we breaking into
So
it
it's still
now?
$80. Is it? Yeah.
Can we pull the campaign up?
Can we scroll?
Yeah, we can scroll. We can scroll.
This is on Gamefound if you're unfamiliar. Also, it's only like 2 weeks long, so we have 13 days left.
Get
Yeah.
to it.
And I guess I was going to pull it on my screen. So it's at 184,000.
Oh my gosh, let's cross that line today.
Let's do it.
200,000 is the goal. And you know what I really appreciate about
Cross
this?
that
Just
line.
from the start is it is an actual goal and not just a fake number.
That's right. They posted an update about that.
A lot of campaigns will be like, 50,000 is our goal, and then we got our goal in 2 minutes.
They're like
and
15.
whatever.
That's like crazy.
Whatever it is. This is the genuine.
Yeah.
It's part of the whole Earthborn reality. Is that it's just very genuine, and so that's a true funny goal. Over 1,000 backers. That's awesome. 12 days left. So if you're going to back it, do so in the next.
They need
12 days.
$200,000 to make this a reality. That's staff costs. That's art assets.
Listen.
That's development time.
For Steven and I's sake, we need to cross this line so we can go get the beer.
Or the champagne. Or that rum that you've got in there.
I would do either of those three.
Why not a trifecta?
Does either apply to 3 things?
Does either apply to 3 things?
Should I properly say I would do any of those things?
Yeah, but I think you could use... Is either strictly a binary language?
I know either
choice?
or.
Either this or that. Or that. Either Coke or Pepsi or Mountain Dew. I think that works. I think either can be multiple things in a list.
Anywho, back to this.
Yeah, that thrilling diatribe.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be
184,000. It needs to get to 200,000 in the next 2 hours
How do you feel about
to crack into that run.
the design of that box?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Go on. Tell me more.
Well, I mean, I don't even. You know what? I have a lot of. I do have a lot to say about this. I think that there's a lot of people that are in my camp on this. And I almost just don't even apply my filter of what I care about when it comes to Earthborn game stuff. I just say, basically, Jesus, take the wheel to Andrew.
Dude, that's was that Carrie Underwood?
Yeah, I think it was.
Deep.
Was it Carrie Underwood or was that a cover?
No, that's Carrie Underwood.
Jesus, take the wheel. That's Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Andrew's Jesus or anything. Don't get me wrong. It's not a Beatles situation. Not to burn all your Covenant merch. But
Andrew, take the wheel.
But yeah, it's kind of like I just
I'm
am
with you.
here for whatever. Even if my initial impression is, I don't like it, I kind of turned that off. I've turned it off. Yeah. For Star Wars, I'll apply it.
But we did like it.
But I do actually very much like
We
it.
played it. We played the preview decks.
Oh, the game is phenomenal.
Then they updated we see the packaging for the first time. They also update the graphic design.
Yeah. The graphic design of the cards, Zach, they're doing this kind of Art Nouveau thing. They're doing like a sci-fi nouveau. You familiar with Art Nouveau? Post Art Deco? Wasn't it post Art Deco, right? Where they tried to bring romance back in, or pre?
Pre-Art
It's
Deco.
pre-Deco.
I believe it's pre-Deco.
So it was kind of the romantic Art Deco-y stuff, which was bringing in a lot of those forms and shapes and kind of the angulature and the geometry, but it was still very much like, can we pull up cards yet?
So
Yeah.
Can you pull up one of the new agents? Do you have the new templates?
You're trying to do the thing. The agents. You want the agents?
Stacks on stacks. We got the screen showing the campaign and the thing and then the card pop.
What's the good one? What's the guy who's
Gargoyle?
Dr. Twilight.
Dr. Twilight.
First, we'll see the old Dr. Twilight.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, boring. Don't even like it. Don't even care about it. Okay, now hold on. Now,
Come on.
That bottom section, that circular thing with kind of all the dragonfly looking wing
do see
style,
that, yeah.
that is Art Nouveau to the max.
Yeah.
And then you see some of the other accoutrements up over the templating on the top side as well.
Mm-hmm.
Has kind of this like Art Nouveau in the stars kind of vibe. It's got that gold feeling, that kind of old world thing. I do love that. We looked at Art Nouveau very heavily for our own brand stuff.
That's right.
And it didn't quite take.
Did you know that Art Deco was Art Nouveau that was then influenced by the invention of the automobile and the discovery of King Tut's tomb?
Wow.
Once you realize that, you start looking at Art Deco, you can see it. And I
it's like
love that fact.
Egyptian.
Because they had it was like a huge artistic influence was like shot into Art Nouveau.
That's funny. Yeah. You don't even realize how crazy that must have been to suddenly understand that.
I mean, the Renaissance is basically the rediscovery of the Greek and Roman art as well.
Wow.
So,
But it makes, if you think about the society, right? Thriving, rich society that then, boom, teleportation is like, whoa, what's going on? It would make sense that the relics of that rich society would look like the relics of our like rich societies, which you associate Art Deco, Art Nouveau with kind of this opulence.
Yeah.
Yes. So, they're thinking. And then you got the barrier line.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I think from a intuitive, functional perspective, these templates got way better.
Oh, yeah.
Having that red line across where this is the barrier and you have to pay this to go past this card or interact with anything past this point. The iconography over on the left, even the icon behind the number on the top left being the shard icon, cleaned way up. So,
if you encounter this card, you just work down, right?
Yeah.
You do the top thing, and then you got to pay 3 to keep going to the bottom thing, and then you got the influence down there. And then they added the cipher things with the influence cost in the same color.
Yeah.
And just cool colors, too. This kind of like pastel purple and gold. Yeah, and then now you see, okay, I work my way down. I've got to do the cipher, and then I can pay the influence, and then it's done.
And I always love when the art or the character in the art is going up above the frame like this.
Yeah. Breaking the frames.
That appeals to me.
It doesn't really make sense, though, because it's supposed to be a barrier. So, I mean, if they're breaking through it, then why do you have to pay?
Well,
Does that make sense?
It's like a gate.
What, gate with a head coming out of it?
No, I was like, I can see through it. You poke your head over the gate.
Oh, okay. So you see it as like a kind of a 2D Wilson situation, home improvement.
Yeah, like it's literally, there's a thing you have to leap over here, and she's just standing on the other side of it.
Okay, all right.
Anyhow.
Okay.
Plus,
fine.
Andy Ruth can do what she wants, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What else we got? Let's
go down. Let's go.
Oh, sorry. We're in the middle of the segment here. 100. Oh, we got 184.
It's happening.
We need what? How much? 16,000? 15,000 left?
15,200.
This is kind of like one of those whatnot streams, a rip and ship situation.
Or like
Ripping and shipping.
for those of us who have been on the earth for a decent amount of time, PVC.
QVC.
You know?
Talk about a dinosaur now, huh?
I assume it still exists. I don't know.
If you're not getting ripped and shipped on TikToks and whatever, then I mean,
All the kids are getting ripped
nobody
and shipped.
cares.
What's the name? Oh, Whatnot? Is that the app? that
Whatnot,
does that?
yes. Yeah. Reach deep in your pockets, everybody. We're going to crack and thwack.
Information, Hubworld, Aidalon, art. We've seen.
How have we seen this? There's a little lore for you.
Can we scroll up just a little bit to the soldier outfits? Those are just like
So good.
That is the collective, right?
perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
These are the teleportation
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
that ruin everything.
It's just perfect. It's like kind of ominous, but like you could see it. Like it's actually a realistic rendering of what a person might actually design. And that half cape, come on, dude.
I do like helmets and half
I
capes.
think they'll come back before we're dead, right?
Capes?
Yeah.
I would love if capes were normal.
All it takes is a few of us.
So one of our
Maybe a few
employees
more.
here at Covenant, John, he backed the campaign without looking at the page. He just immediately knew that he wanted it.
Nice.
So this morning I was
He's in the
showing
camp you
him
were talking
the.
about.
Wait, hold on. Scroll up.
Okay.
Stay right there and talk.
Okay. I was showing him the factions, which we'll get to, and he loved it. He was even happier that he immediately bought.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just got to have faith.
What's crazy about that, I was talking to John a couple months ago, and he was we were talking about Netrunner. And
That's
this
right.
kind of genre, and he was like, I don't think that style of game is for me. And then he got the preview decks, and he played, and he saw, and then here we are.
Yeah, he beat Nick too. So
And
we got
Nick's
the
a
card.
savant.
Look at the card backs. Shut up, dude.
So unlike you, I came to this page, and I analyzed every detail before I was willing to back. Because
It's not true, John.
I wanted to make sure
I'm
that
almost
to us.
melting from the lies that are
the
being-
people who I was giving my money to, I knew, and specifically the thing I was coming, I had to do. I put it in a spreadsheet, and I really want to break into this in a minute, which is the cost per card of this campaign. And I'm just kidding. I didn't even notice the card backs, actually. That's how much I am in your camp of just like ship it.
It's like somehow perfectly nostalgic, but modern, like not derivative. It's just like it's almost got a Flash Gordon kind of thing.
It also, a traditional playing card, the back of the card is the same no matter which way the card's facing.
Yeah.
So one thing I like about this is the problem you had in our early videos that was driving all of us crazy is when you're putting cards into the grid, you would put it up sometimes and down sometimes. And when you're like exhausting a thing and then unexhausting, like it switches around. So that card back, if you have clear sleeves particularly or no sleeves, would prevent that from ever being a piece of information.
I would say,
give your
honestly,
opponent.
watching me do that really shook my idea of who I am. down to the bones.
It's very unlikely.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's kind of an Eastern
Our whole life, though,
paradox.
when you would borrow a deck of mine, you would give it back to me, and
know.
about half the cards would be upside down in the deck.
That's just weird.
And
I don't do that a lot of places.
It is disconnected from everything else about
very
you.
tidy everywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, you do generally return all the cards, at least, I guess.
What, better than your brother? This had
Which
me. This is the only one that borrowed cards from you. This had me on clear sleeves.
Yeah.
It made the
I
it
made
made the
that.
argument. Otherwise, I was going to do faction colors, but this is like it's got to be clear.
Yeah.
I got to see that down on the table.
Yeah, I'm into it. I love this card back.
Freaking love it. And then look, that's all the new templates on the rendering there. Your Seeker has so much presence with the background color of the faction. Beautiful stuff. I'll never use those chart icons, but that's me. I don't like grabbing weird stuff.
Are you getting the official deluxe?
No,
No.
I'm
You're
just gonna use data tokens.
Use some
Or dice. I know. But I don't like grabbing weird stuff. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff is like
Little plastic squares isn't weird
I don't
to
want to
you?
grab. Look, this is normal, right? Normal circle.
But is it normal because it's normal? Or is it normal because you're used to it?
No, it doesn't. It's a circle. It's normal because the universe has made these normal. This is normal. This is how cars move. You know, like this is normal.
Yeah,
but it's wheel technology.
The shard shape. I mean, rocks exist, and we pick those up all the time, and they're in like all kinds of crazy shapes.
I'm just not.
That's more normal than
I honestly just.
wheels.
I don't feel the need to defend myself on this.
You're not going to take Zach up on the rocks
I like
exist
grabbing
argument?
normal shapes. Okay, the ones that I can click a button and make in Photoshop.
Geometric shapes,
Yes.
like shapes.
Yes.
no,
yes.
it's
Fine shapes.
platonic.
Yeah. Sorry,
Platonic.
non-Euclidean shapes. Do
Steven's
not.
Steven's a platonic solids guy. He's a
Platonic
solids
and
guy.
Euclid is in.
I don't even know what Euclid means.
Yeah, I don't need to.
This is
That's
too
why this
fancy for
argument
my-
doesn't
Yeah,
even
he's over there
exist.
picking up rocks. He's got no time to
at
learn
this
about
point,
Euclid.
I've already backed the campaign 3 times while this conversation is going on.
I would also use poker chips. That's also fine with me.
People use poker chips in Netrunner,
Absolutely,
right? That was
they
a thing.
do. Yeah, because they like normal geometric objects.
Aaron is with me on this when he says rocks are more normal than wheels. It's true. There's way more rocks than there are. Anyways, carry on.
Let's keep going down the page.
Let's not waste our time on this.
All right, that's just a straight
Look
up.
at that box.
Okay,
It's
so
beautiful.
this is the.
Logo's a little big for me.
It's not even the. This is called the Prime Collective. It's not a core set.
There's no such thing as a core set.
No such thing as a core set. So this is the most I want to dive into this. Man,
perfect.
I've been waiting for this moment,
Freaking
this whole stream. So first of all, it says retail price is $100, and if you back the campaign, you get a 20% discount. You pay $80.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that idea in a second. But
Okay.
this was the thing that really sent me in a good way when I found out that every release is essentially a draft cube.
Yeah.
For up to 4 people. And for the first time in our nearly 20 years doing this, the non-collectible, expandable model makes sense. Like that is low-key genius thing to do. And I can't believe we haven't ever had that idea before. Or we haven't seen it is insane to me it took this long. Because we continuously say one of the biggest downsides of non-collectible expandable card game is that you can't draft this thing. And so you lose the draft format, which is one of the most new player-friendly, etc. ways to play. One of the most fun ways to play these games. So this is genius. And this is actually, it's like, it's not just going from like 1 to 2 on a scale. It's like going from 1 to 10 in terms of the release model of a non-collectible expandable game for me.
Makes so much sense.
Twice a year draft cubes that are your expansions, and then having 4 of those at a time that are constructed legal.
Yeah. And that's the thing, they're not even your expansions, right? You're not expanding on anything. There's no core set to expansion pipeline.
Well, it's just everything is an expansion.
There's just sets of
Do
this
they
game.
refer to them as sets or expansions, or is there?
Sets, I believe.
Is it sets? What do they say on the page? I thought Prime Collective is the set. Is that right? So, and this is the beautiful thing.
Inaugural set.
Sets. So this is the first set, and the second set will be just like this, but new cards. And the third set will be just like this, but new cards, presumably. And once we get to 4 sets, that is your maximum amount of sets in your standard competitive constructed format. And then when the 5th set comes out, sets 2 through 5 are your standard sets. And then 3 through, you see how it goes.
Yeah.
Right, Zach, you're a smart guy. So 4 of these sets at any given time. So if you walk into the LGS or the coffee shop or whatever, if you walk into the internet and you say, I want to start playing Hubworld, the most you would ever have to spend is $200 to get the 4 latest sets, and you are caught up to where every other player in the world is.
400.
400. Did I say 200?
4. You did.
Yeah. $400 to get all of it, and they're caught up with 2 years worth of content to start playing the competitive format.
Yeah.
So if you think about like what's that comparative to now, the other thing about this is before I compare things, which I think you're keen to do too, you can also buy one of these sets and build the competitive deck that you want to play from that.
Or you could buy one and draft it.
You don't even have to play the competitive format, not competitive, the constructed format.
Yeah, and so there's different things to compare this game to.
Yes.
That I think are relevant. The three things I'm thinking about are collectible card games,
Okay.
living card games,
Okay.
and board games.
Yeah, those are three very good categories.
I think that is like
to
the
look at. That's the mechanic. Go.
Yeah, you're good.
Go
you already know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do.
We're like a really old couple who's had all their conversations. So the first one, I just want to break this down real quick because there was a lot of commentary. I saw comments on the campaign and Discord, people talking about the price and the value and all this kind of stuff. And I don't want to go too hard on this because we've talked about this forever, but I think it's important to compare it to these three categories of things, which is sort of where Steven was starting to go. So I want to start by comparing this to living card games.
Talk to me.
I think
the original.
I think that's the closest comparable for me.
Talk that talk.
Game of Thrones,
Even right now, Marvel
Conquest.
Champions, Arkham Horror,
Arkham Horror, Marvel Champions,
different because it's cooperative, etc.
original
But
Android Netrunner,
the
5R.
for all the LCGs, they had a really unique problem where they had a $40 core set, so it's a cheaper entry point. But they had a ton of really fundamentally good cards. We played Netrunner recently, and like half of our cards still came from the core set, even though we were using the full collection. But to get a play set, you had to buy 3 core sets. That's right, back in the day, and that's just a bad decision. But those are 40 each, so to get a play set it was 120. And there were definitely less cards than is in Hubworld here. But I'm gonna skip that comparison because
No
I think
cost per card.
that core set is
You don't
just
even
not
need
good. I think the better one is even right now if you want to go cost per card. An LCG pack is 60 cards, and this comes with loosely 300 cards. So to buy the same number of cards as an LCG, it would cost you
What's a pack?
5 packs,
$20?
$16.99. So Jonathan, can you run the $16.99 times 5 math for me real quick?
I got it.
All right, hit me with it. Let's just see where it lands up. I have a
How about we
feeling
do 17 times 5?
that's fine too.
That's $85.
Wait a second. So this indie studio producing a non-collectible expandable card game
That's draftable.
that is draftable cube, is less per card than giant conglomerate Asmodee company owned FFG
Coming from China.
printing games from China with the Marvel license on top of it, where the demand comparatively is just apples and oranges, right? So I think just on the surface, where does this comparatively, it's already in the ballpark. So now compared
Wait, there's 60 cards in a hero pack? Really? 2 of everything?
hero packs.
It's less, right?
No, it is because you get the Nemesis and you get the cards that aren't actually built in the deck and that whole thing. I'm pretty sure it's 60.
Is it
cards per
60?
pack. Yeah, it's been
Check
60
your math on this?
forever. Good.
I think the point is stands.
Fact check me.
How many cards in a hero pack? I'm going to look that up.
All right. So the next one is comparing it to a board game, and I think this is where it's easy. LCGs have always lived in this space where, in my experience, if you're coming from the CCG world like we did when we first got into LCGs seem so comparatively cheap. Because let's actually go there before we go to board games. So
60 cards.
Yeah. So as an example, most people I know that play Flesh and Blood buy 3 or 4 booster boxes of every set that comes out for Fab, which is $300 or $400 3 times a year. That's not counting the armory decks that now have exclusive cards, all that kind of stuff.
You can always sell them and make all your money back, though.
Yeah, I mean hypothetically. So then, that's when you were kind of saying like for 2 years of content you can pay $400, which is not that's not nothing.
That's that's a lot.
That's a lot of money. However, compared to if you're a collectible card game player, you're like, oh, thank goodness. Like $400 buys you 2 of your main cards you need for Fab decks. And we're not even into the rest of it. So compared to a CCG, it's insane what you're getting because you're also getting and this is just a practical reality. I was talking a couple of weeks ago on stream about this where I think the average person underestimates and isn't aware of how much it costs and takes to make a game like this. And we experienced it with LCGs once we started getting back into Destiny and collectible games, which is because it feels so much like a CCG, people tend to want the same things out of an LCG that they get from a CCG, even though the fundamental model means that the publisher is not going to be able to offer the same level of engagement support on any sort of level.
Yeah, it's a good way to do the same amount of work and make less money.
That's right. It is a choice because there's also a lot of people that will never touch a CCG because it's too expensive, or they'll never touch it because they don't like the model and think it's gambling. And so an LCG is a great way to lower that barrier and make this way more accessible. And then you have a studio coming out and doing something already at less than the major studios who've been doing this for 20 years are doing. And they have so many advantages of scale too, where you have an art director that gets to work on Arkham and Marvel Champions and now Star Wars Unlimited. And you have all these artists and you have all these resources. And anyways, then I think the final point is like, compared to a board game, yeah, this is expensive. Like if you want a expandable card game with stuff that keeps coming out and a live environment and you want draft cubes and you want to be able to fully construct your deck, but the depth that is available in a game like this is off the charts.
That's where I think you have to decide, are you a board gamer or are you a card gamer?
That's right.
Like if the value of the kind of diversity of experiences that are created when an opponent is building decks and giving you different challenges and playing the game in a different way than you, if that's of value and interest to you, even if it's just one other person, 2-person meta, it's absolutely worth $80-$200. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there are some people that's not, they want to have the same thing happen every time and they want to optimize their one strategy and they want not everything to always be moving in a metagame. And if that's true, then you're just not into card games more broadly, I would say.
And I think board games, I've had some experiences lately. Like I played Dune Imperium and I played Arcs and I played Arc Nova and there's just different games. Compared to board games 20 years ago, board games are offering so much more depth. Like some of these, like you could play this 500 times.
Mm-hmm.
And like I played 20 years ago, Catan, that hundreds of times.
Yeah.
And after about 100, it's like I've kind of seen it all. Like it's fine enough to do. It's almost like playing pitch with the family, right? Like you play enough times and you deal out the cards or playing poker. Like you kind of know what's possible. So there are board games, and if you're a person that you own 50 board games, and I know a lot of these people, and you haven't played most of them, or you haven't played most of them more than like once, and you have all this, and those are costing $50, $60, $70 for the whole experience of the game, this will seem expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a card gamer, this is it's as low, I think, as you can get on the cost chain and get this kind of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Without it just being a one release box that is more like a board game.
It's also the crazy thing too is this is with domestic manufacturing and FSC certified everything. All of that is more expensive. Those certifications take more work from the forests that manage those resources to create and to verify and to go through the checklist and to get checked, and that process all costs money. So those raw materials cost more, and then the factory then charges more to use them. Those kinds of things. But yeah, I mean, like there's also this kind of, you know, right now, I won't dive into the political reality, but there's always this kind of low-grade tenor. Hey, make stuff domestically, make stuff in America. Let's manufacture more. Well, this is what it looks like. Mm-hmm. So if you're saying that, but then you're saying $80, then you kind of have a bit of a contradiction there, right? Like this is technically the most expensive manufacturing process you could imagine for a game like this, and it's still coming in under, as you quoted, Asmodee prices.
Yeah,
that's like a mirror. Like that is truly something. It's way lower than I kind of expected. But I also have the luxury of kind of being able to live in that pocket of cash that I could spend on this kind of a thing.
Well, and I think from my perspective, you understand that, and then you also understand like. This is not a publisher with shareholders who are enriching themselves, right? It's like this is a small indie team of people who deeply care and are willing to sacrifice, like even just they've done the work to produce a collectible card game. Mm-hmm. And they've chosen to do a non-collectible model. They've already taken a knee on maximizing value, right? For them.
Yeah, such a weird.
So anyways, I'm curious, if you're watching this and you are a person that thinks that this price is too expensive, I would be curious to hear from you and understand what that is like. And I don't want to dismiss. There, I was like, there's a D word that is. Anyways, I don't want to dismiss anyone if they feel like, hey, spending $400, essentially $200 a year to buy everything that ever comes out for this game is expensive. Because I do know there are people that is not feasible for.
Mm-hmm.
I can.
That wouldn't be feasible no matter how they made it. You know?
But it's also not feasible to make this game and charge money. I think they're straddling the line of how low can we go and this possibly be feasible.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it would be cool if they could do this and make it free for everybody. If you want to go to the extreme, and then
that's what the preview decks were.
Yeah, which is cool that they did that for that exact thing. But it's just not feasible, and that goes back to that conversation from a couple weeks ago on stream where it's just not realistic to solve this problem. So I would be curious if you feel that way, and it's not strictly because it's just financially infeasible for you. I mean, it is a bummer, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're excited about this thing and then it is more expensive than you can reasonably pay, you're now on the outside of that. So
right.
I can empathize with that, but also I know the inner workings behind the scenes and what it requires to actually make this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways, I'd be curious to know what the context there.
One other question, that stems from that is if there's a board gaming audience and this isn't enough game for $80 compared to something like ARCs or whatever, and so the board gamer's like, this is too expensive, and then the TCG players, there's this giant pocket of TCG players, they're like, well, I can't, there's no secondary market, I can't like build a cheap like pauper deck or whatever, so it's too expensive for me, or it's not what I'm looking for either. Then like all the people who are constantly like saying we need non-collectible card games, where are you? Mm-hmm. Right? Because if
they're back in this campaign,
I mean, that's the thing. But if it's not the board game or it's not the TCG players, this is the moment where you actually get to see who is this kind of game actually built for.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if there's not enough, if everybody on these different pockets is like, they're just talking about why they don't want it, then it's like, then why has everybody been talking this whole time during the LCG period of why this is the way and why TCGs are so bad and all this? Let's see how many people are actually this kind of format works for, which is what I'm deeply curious about, just to see kind of the backer numbers and see where this is going.
Well, I think that's what always stood out to me. When we first got into LCGs, it was certainly none of us had any money at all. Mm-hmm. It was a huge relief to have games that you could keep up with for $15 a month back then. And so one thing that always surprises me, though, is that in my experience, lowering the price or the entry point for these games, and they solve one of the LCG problems, which is eventually 1 million SKUs, and to get into Thrones at some point, you have to spend $1,000. So that's the 4 at a time. Here's the max you're ever going to need. But lowering the barrier to entry, the cost to entry to a card game, like LCGs have done, not having a disproportionate increase in the number of people interested. Mm-hmm. So basic economics, if you lower price, you should see demand go up. And it does go up, but I don't think it actually has much, some amount deals with price. But it's been surprising how not connected those are. Mm-hmm. Where like, you could probably take Hubworld to $0, and we're still not going to get, if every Hubworld expansion was literally free. Let's say,
I think you'd see some growth.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be Magic level players.
Yeah, probably.
Like, even if it were free.
Well,
that's the most extreme case. I don't think there's 10 million people playing Hubworld if it was free.
Yeah, right. So like, what's interesting too is that $15 pack a month is $90 every 6 months. So that's the same price that we've got here. It's just every 6 months rather than every month. Wild how the brain is weird like that.
Yeah, and going back into their just kind of macro, environmentally friendly perspective, right? Beyond the ability to offer it as a draft queue, which makes so much sense, mm-hmm. is having a SKU release, a product release once every 6 months versus monthly is so much better.
So much better.
Instead of us sending out packs once a month and the packaging and the shipping and the gasset and all that kind of stuff and the fulfillment, like the logistical side of things.
Dude, mm-hmm. I just realized what Andrew has done here.
Uh-oh.
He went from 6-pack 6 weeks to 6-pack 6 months. Every 6 months, he releases 6 packs at the same time.
It was always there.
Genius.
Which, if when L5R, 6-pack 6 weeks was an L5R experiment that went... It went. Imagine if L5R had started and it was like 6 packs are available right now. That is very different.
It is different. It's still worse.
than weekly.
6
Yeah.
games, yeah,
But if it was, here's a batch of cards and it's a draft cube and you can play immediately. And it's not core set plus these 6 or a box in these 6. It's literally,
I think it would have blown up.
here's the one thing.
Weirdly enough, yeah, it's amazing.
All right. Anyway,
But
back
also,
to
can I get aside from all of the weird technical stuff that only the most vocal of us care about or discuss? Let's not forget, like, you're paying for a extremely above bar experience. Like, these are all like the art direction of the game, the synthesis of the art styles, the design and development from people who actually know what they're doing on a very deep fundamental level and have experience doing this. The just the gameplay itself, the gameplay loops, the everything that's happening. Like, there's also, you can talk about cardboard and manufacturing and all of that, and Earthborn Games and environmental friendly and all of that. But at the heart of this, the 99% of why you would care to buy something for $80 to $100 is because you get to play it and you get to use it and you get to look at the cards, and that experience is easily worth that price. Whether or not people can afford that or enough people can afford that is a different kind of question. But is it worth $80 to $100? 1,000% it is.
Yeah, I think that throughout everything we said, that's actually the TLDR main point for me is it worth the experience? And if it is, it is. And if it's not. Earthborn Rangers hit the same way for me. It's like,
Yeah.
I think that campaign, which is not, if you were just breaking that down by cost per card, it's like, I don't know, 80% of the value is the campaign.
Yeah, it's like asking how many megabytes are in a video game.
That's exactly it.
Like, how many dollars per megabyte? It's like,
What's the experience you're getting? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
And as a card gamer, coming from both history of playing CCGs and LCGs, it's like, it's not even, I mean, I clicked buy immediately. It's not even close. Like, it's absolutely worth it. So, let's go back to the campaign and keep scrolling for a second. See if we need anything we need to see. So, cards.
I left it up here because I wanted to shout out. Well, what's the opposite of shout out? The Earthborn Games team for not putting any dang new cards in this spread here.
They didn't,
poured over all the images.
Yeah, no new cards.
There's not a spoiler to be found.
No, not a spoiler. Not a single one. Look at those agents, though, or those seekers. Oh, my goodness.
Jaco the
I love
Snako.
them.
Also, I'm pretty sure I can confirm Bug is the dog in Rory and Bug.
Oh, did you? Oh, very cool.
So then that would go back up real quick. If Rory and Bug, so Ace is the snake.
So, following the naming conventions, Ace is the snake.
Assuming.
Ace is the snake.
But it's
The
Jaco the
Ace is
Snake.
snake.
Jaco the Snake. But also, Jaco has a leg, so not a snake. By definition. Not Jaco. Well, the snake thing doesn't.
It's
the
not
snake
a
thing
snake.
has legs.
It's more of a dragon.
Yeah, it's like a dragon.
It's like a what are those
snake,
those actual dragons that exist?
Komodo dragons?
Yeah, there
Or
it is.
Gila monsters? Okay, John, let's scroll. Ooh, there he is.
That's
Wait,
his
did
little-
any? Now, the lizard people changed. The card changed.
The Capricious Informant?
Yeah. Scroll down. Look at it.
Well, you just pop it.
Oh, it's 1,000 times better. It used to be it's not that one.
It's not,
Dude,
it's not that one.
No.
No,
Scroll.
go back.
Scroll.
It's new. It's even newer.
Scroll.
Than that?
Scroll to the thing. Look at that. Refund 1. Like, what's that?
They did put spoilers in here.
Changed it. So when you trash Capricious Informant, the owner gets a money. And then when it's forged, each agent and obstacle in the front row of your rival is -1 to break.
That's cool.
I
Minus
just
one barrier.
adore the art on that card.
-1 barrier. Look at how much better that card is. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. They're balancing. You got people who are working on this. They're playing it every day. They're working the numbers.
Can you
They're
bring up the
changing-
Maxine comment?
Yes.
This says it so well.
Can I bring up the little bit more sarcastic one first?
Yeah, sure.
All right, hold on.
I've never known Maxine to be sarcastic.
No. That is- oh, I missed it. Oh, yeah. There we go. I like that one.
Exactly. It says only purchase games that are at 30 gigabyte or bigger /S.
It's like the Loctro is like the biggest sensation on Earth, and it's like 2 megabytes.
So Maxine says, people do this with video games all the time where they talk about hours of content. Personally, I'd rather play a 12-hour game with a well-crafted story and great gameplay than a 120-hour game.
It's accurate.
That's exactly it.
That's it.
It's the quality of the experience versus the quantity of the experience. And I get it. There are people
That's who we are, though.
that buy computers based on the gigabytes. And I have
look at Steve Jobs. Over
I have
here.
never bought. I mean, look, it's just I have. Yeah, of course. Even like a constant back and forth between me and my little brother is that I have an Apple phone, and he has whatever thing he has to get replaced every 6 months because it's so low quality, but has features that I don't have. So
he can move his gigabytes around.
Yeah. Anyways,
and he can set his file structure.
You're either a gigabyte person or you're not. And if you're a gigabyte, the thing is though, like if you're a gigabyte person, the math still checks out.
It does. It's pretty good math. That's the thing. You can even have the gigabytes.
That is yeah. They're even winning on that front. It's like, what is?
We're also if you're like watching us, aside from maybe this stream, where
I don't know
people
why.
are actively watching because they are hoping to get something of value. But if you're just like a normal stream viewer and Discord person, and you engage with us as a brand for the past 10, 15 years, you're probably more in the I want quality of experience over gigabytes. Just because that's what we've always pushed.
Yeah, but yeah,
right. That's what we always push. That's why we go to once a year we might go to a really fancy restaurant that is not worth it.
Yeah, that's also why we play indie card games. That's why we play the games and work with people we work with, where it's like, yeah, there's not going to be a new product every month, and it's not going to be profitable for most ever. And it's going to be hard, but at the end of the day, there are people out there working really hard to create amazing. To me, it's art. All these card games, so amazing experience for people to enjoy, and to then have that boil down to like a number of cents per card basis is just like so. I'm not an angry person, but
it gets stream you are.
It gets me close.
How much oil paint was used on the Mona Lisa? I'd like to know the tonnage on that, so I can evaluate if it was good or not.
Well, if we're gonna buy it, it's the amount of just the size.
How big is the painting?
How big is the painting?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I don't care how it makes me feel.
They got Waterway Ferry has flavor text now.
Yes,
big fan of flavor
and they're
text,
doing the
personally.
flavor text in cursive because it's old world rich stuff.
Did you see Gargalo Larga's flavor text?
Old world rich stuff.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
I maybe did read all of this. Our beloved Aidalon is merely shedding her leaves in advance of winter. Once the season of the collective gives way to spring, she will flourish once more.
How in the world did you read that?
I have eyes of the hawk, ears of the wolf, brave star.
Wow. Someone tell me you got that reference.
This green faction is the old money.
Hey,
they were the rich folks before the collective moved in.
Oh, so
they are
and they're old Aidalon.
That checks out. I know that area of Tulsa.
It's the wealthy. Yeah, exactly. It's like over there in Utica.
Yeah,
and that not Owen Park. What's the fancy place down by Utica?
Swan Lake.
No, that is one. That's a weird old money.
That is old Aidalon to me.
Yeah. Down that Lewis Utica area, there's some
tiny.
That's why the house is so big.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's them. And then we scroll up a little bit. The collective. They do the thing. They're the obviously the antagonist of the story.
They're like,
in some ways.
The intergalactic corpo government.
Yes. But they've created the portal transit system, which I'm sure is bringing a lot of value to their shareholders.
Increased value. Line must go up and to the right. So these are this is the big corpo.
But they're not like the Empire, They're not like seemingly led by some kind of maniac.
They're more like bureaucratic than fascist.
And they probably believe in their portal technology being good for everybody.
You don't know the Emperor's motives. I think, I'm not going to get into that.
He returned to like force lightning the universe. I think his motives are pretty clear.
We're all sad about his return. All right,
so I've heard.
All right, so we got your more common folk.
Omniworks.
Yeah, these are the guilds. These are the actual like trade people.
Craftspeople. These are the people that actually add value to life.
So if you look through your deck, you're like Telemel Cluster, Waterway Ferry. That's going to be out of this faction.
Have you seen the show Silo?
Mm-mm.
If you ever do, let me know.
Cool.
This reminds me of the people that live at the bottom of the silo.
Mm-hmm.
Is mechanical, and they're the ones that keep everything running.
Yeah.
But then they're like the basement dwelling, like.
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me.
They see the fruits of all of that labor, though. I'm sure.
Definitely, yeah, for sure.
And then these are my guys.
And then the remnants. So this is just everyone else who doesn't like the collective. They don't want to be a part of this. They just kind of doing their own thing.
Wandering.
This is like the people who don't use social media.
They're kind of weirdly almost like neo-techno-libertarian kind of people. Because like the end, they say free from the corporate government's cloying bureaucratic control. So they want to don't step on snake.
We got to be careful here. This game might tell a real story. You know what I mean?
Heaven forbid they're being.
Woo! This might get political.
So there's a big corporate government. There's the wealthy people. There's the working people, and then there's the don't
free
tread on me
thinkers
people. Yes.
The people that aren't controlled.
Not quite how Andrew would probably describe it.
No.
That's a little more on the nose.
Well, this is why he's not here and we are.
That's right.
And we can say what we want.
But that remnant,
we don't have to serve no corpo.
So then you got this how to play. We know that pretty well.
Hold on, let me go up to the barbecue gate. Make sure it's the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, scroll down.
Barbecue gate.
Stop.
Right there.
Engaging player may exhaust a forge card in their grid if they do not gain 2 credits. Just look at it. Gain one. Yeah.
Hey, am I wrong that Barbecue Gate is great to just leave in your hand the whole time?
Yeah, you can leave it in your hand the whole time.
Because every time they discover it, they don't have to do anything. You just get one.
Yeah, but it's also like it can be very, depending on their board state, it can be very annoying to have to engage a card so you don't gain 2. Because like a lot of times that's a card that's really important.
It's also you pay
engaged.
1 to forge it, and they have to pay 1 every time they go past it. And
Yeah.
they're almost never going to pay 4 to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Nobody's
So it's just a constant tax the other direction. Depends on are you a taxer?
So like you gain 1 randomly if they see it, or they pay 1 every time to look at your hand or your deck. Kind of the same thing. It feels better whenever they discover it, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
does
ooh,
feel
free
better.
money. Ooh, piece of candy.
Did you guys? Okay, here's all the different ways you can play.
And we've got a new pledge tier, by the way.
Oh, hey, that's legitimately
curious.
new.
Yes,
Yeah, it is
it was in
new.
their update right before we got online.
Oh.
So set 2 complete pre-constructed decks for anyone interested in a taste of the full Hubworld Aidalon experience.
It's these preview decks that you already got for free.
Seemingly.
Well,
It doesn't say that. It just says preview
it
deck.
did. It said in the update.
Okay.
It said in the update.
was
It's
like, hey.
these, but the full templated new quality versions that'll be sent out, with
And I
everything
assume-
else during the Gamefound campaign.
Errata changes, etc. That we've already seen some of that stuff here.
Yeah, but it'll be 2. It looks like they're nicely packaged. And really, we should just be selling these for the rest of time, shouldn't we?
Agreed. Yeah.
Have you worked that out with Andrew?
Perhaps.
Oh.
Perhaps. Why is it a secret from your chief brain officer? Or
It's not. It's we're
Chief
we're,
mouth
We're
officer.
live. I can't.
Chief mouth officer.
I gotta be careful what I'm committing
That's
to.
why. It's a secret because you're the chief mouth officer.
You tell
You
everyone.
don't tell everybody.
Yeah. I mean, so a part of this is they haven't even hit their funding goal yet, so we don't know if we're doing anything in the future.
That's true. I might not make it.
So
What are we at? Can we get across this thing? I would love to drink.
yeah, can you refresh and go to the top, and we'll come back to the basics.
Whoa.
How much do we have to pledge right now?
Do this better.
Could we do like a $16,000 pledge just to get it over?
No, that would be
Some
something.
expensive champagne.
We're almost at 190. Here we go.
Almost at 190. We've gained 5,000.
Boom. That's
Just
probably
because of the
exclusively
mouth.
because of the stream. Yeah, the mouth of the South over here.
Let's go. Can we get a
You know-
ticker?
You know what number is? Oh, there it goes. It's moving.
Whisper to it.
See?
371.
Yeah.
All we need is what? 100 million people at the $20 level?
Well, yes.
To
But
go?
at the $100 level, we need 100 people to get to 200,000.
So what do you think is the main level? $80 to get the game, I think, is where you want to be, but you have to add
go back
the lore.
down to the
you
basics.
have to
Yeah,
add the
but then
lore
you got
book.
the Lore Master level.
And you probably need the 2 playmats.
John, I appreciate you switching the camera to not make us sick.
Hey, well, I'm doing what I can.
That is nice.
There we go.
All right, good.
Lore Master. That's maybe where I'm going to go.
So it looks like there's the preview decks, then there's just the set for $80.
Yeah, it looks like it has a little, maybe does it have a paper mat in it, you think?
Probably it's with that little
No.
on the far left there. See it over there?
Let's
Far
see.
left.
Here's
under
your contents.
okay.
buddy.
Roll back and quick start. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need it. It's just you can a grid of 9 cards. We didn't used to do this. We played Wyvern. We didn't need the freaking playmat.
And then the Lore Master, if you want the book.
So it's
Is it Wyvern or is it Wyvern?
We don't. No one knows.
Somebody.
So
has to know.
wait. The Lore Master is the book's not $80. What all got added here?
You got the
Well,
deluxe
let's see. Let's just
tokens
click
as well.
on-
Oh,
yeah.
You got the deluxe
token. And a
deluxe
playmat,
wooden
and a playmat.
tokens.
Yeah,
Are
you got the
they
wooden
are they
tokens.
shapes or are they?
They're
What was the
shapes.
funny?
They're shapes.
What was the funny word you used earlier?
Look at that.
Funny.
Those are not shapes.
Yeah, they are.
They're
What are you
not-
talking-
Steven can only handle like
I can't grasp.
3. He can only handle probably 5 changes of angle.
The
on
action
token.
tokens acceptable. Love it.
What about the shards?
No, how can you possibly? I'm trying to do it right now, and
Hold on.
Look at all of those data tokens over there. What shape are
geometric. I know. I was there for it.
Did you have a hand in making those?
The data tokens?
Yeah.
I was around.
You were around.
I gave a thumbs up at some point. I have very little to do with it.
Some people love these. Love the very thematic shapes.
Would these shapes be okay for you?
What are those?
Mutton chop.
Oh.
Long time listener, long time caller.
I mean, yeah, those are geometrically.
Oh, wow.
See, this is
acceptable.
like a
Is
geometric.
Mutton Chop in the chat today?
Yeah, I mean, I can pick that
Mutton
up.
Chop
Right?
Piper. Check him out.
I can pick that up.
Anyhow, he's got a. I didn't know this, but I searched for him at some point, and he has a YouTube channel.
It's in like.
He smokes pipes.
Yeah.
It's like a cool vibe, man. Reminds me of Malcolm Guite, who I'm a huge fan of.
I don't know anything about that guy.
You do, actually. He's the older guy, British guy who reads in his den.
Ah, yes.
It's just absolutely charming. And he smokes pipes, too. It's good.
Cool. Maybe I should start smoking a pipe.
So, going back to the thing.
Going back to the thing. I heard it. I got it.
So, deluxe wooden.
All right. So, you get the wooden tokens plus the lore book.
Plus the playmat.
Plus the
I was like,
playmat.
how is
Yeah,
it $80?
That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. Right.
What
Here.
did
Well,
you
but
back
that's
at?
that's a single player doing their own thing.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I had to go harder because I had to make sure all my friends had product.
I'm usually not a deluxe tokens guy, but after the Earthborn stuff,
You did it, huh?
I changed my
You'll
mind.
note, though, Jonathan, what shape are those Earthborn tokens?
Square, rectangular,
Circles.
triangle,
Circles.
circles.
Energy tokens. Circular.
Yeah, it's all
Boom.
circular.
Reacher. Grasper.
Okay, then the competitor. So the competitor gets 2 sets, 2 play mats, seemingly tokens, and is there a lore book in there?
Oh man,
No,
Probably
not for competitors. They don't have time to read, dude. They're just
they're
building
not.
decks.
They're not here for the story.
They don't care about the story. They're not even going to touch the flavor text. They don't
wanna
even look at the
slap
cards.
cards.
What we should probably include in the competitor is like a headband.
Yeah.
All the sweat, keep it out of their eyes
So during
their training.
2
Headband-
sets. Now, you might want 2 sets if you're going to build multiple decks that would share cards. And a lot of times in a competitive card game like this, you will have one card in one faction that is just like the perfect card for most decks, like the hedge fund.
Did I see somewhere they confirmed though there's not generics?
There's no neutrals, which is sick.
That's something.
But
I'll tell you the reason I would want to is so that I can build and maintain a cube.
Yeah.
Without
you
having
got
to,
one box for cube and one box for
cube, one
playing.
box for collection.
Yeah, and if they are going to do big events or tournaments, et cetera, or like Hubworld at Covenant 3.0.
Hubworlds.
Where me, I would have part of it be draft. And honestly, if you have 4 legal sets, I might get wild with that.
You know what?
format.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't like mixed format competitive events.
I do.
I just don't like it. I don't like it. The whole idea is you have a challenge, focus on it, do the best you can at that one thing, and then see who's the best at that one thing. I don't need to see the best draft and constructed player. I want to know the best constructed player and the best constructed deck, and I want to know the best limited player.
You could do the old school Thrones thing where it was like day 1 was constructed, day 2 was draft. And they had a champion from each.
Yeah.
But then the top 8 from both played the top 16.
It wasn't draft, it was melee,
Sunday.
right?
Yeah, I think so. It was like joust, melee, but then the top cut was like the top of both.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think all that stuff is actually way too fancy. Just build the deck that you think is good and you like, and then go play it for 6 rounds.
Here's the best thing, actually. Because the cubes are 4-player cubes, seemingly, from what was said. So what would that take? Game 1? It just takes 2 games to have an undefeated person. I love seeing that. From a cube. So you could technically have an event where you use all 4 cubes in the legal format. It's all just limited. But it's like you do a draft, play your games, do a draft, play your games, do a draft, play your games.
Oh, that's fun.
Then you don't need to build anything.
Yeah.
And you just show up and you play and you're limited.
That's true.
So
That's true.
anything.
As for me and my house, I only am going to get 1 set of...
You're one set guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just going... Because I'm only going to have 1 deck. I'm a 1 deck, maybe 2 deck kind of guy, but I would just use the cards that I'm not using. And honestly, what I really want, I would be really attracted to a mono tournament where it's all of one cut. The only decks that you can bring is all a singular faction. And then it's like, what's the best faction?
We just hit 190.
190, let's go!
10,000 before we break the champs. Okay,
And then for the ultimate host, hold on, we didn't finish with the pledge tiers here.
Ultimate host. Here we go. Look at that.
That's
we
the
get all the
agent.
colors of the playmats.
It's 4 of everything.
4 with no, but not 4 with the lore books.
The problem with the 4 playmats is that you don't know what faction you're going to fall in love with yet, and so you feel like you should get all 4 of them. But you can't do that.
No.
That's madness.
Well, I originally was going to do the agent, but there's no red playmat, so then I canceled everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of playmats.
Purple is like a dark red.
If I had to choose one of those, what color do you think I'd pick out of those?
Thank you, Terrence. You know what's funny about that? I actually don't like triathlons. Weirdly enough, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You'd rather see like one sport.
You're not a generalist. You don't value great generalization. You're a specialist, man. Division of labor.
Yeah. Plato's Republic, baby.
Yeah.
Put him in the pool.
Well,
or put him on the road.
That's a slippery slope because how you define specialist is like if you were good enough to win at every Hubworld draft format and constructed Hubworld, you were a Hubworld specialist to the world.
Well, then you're just Jeremy Zorin.
Right.
Well,
Jeremy Zorin, Michael Hamilton, these kinds of guys. Their brains work different.
Yeah, I know.
I'm done fighting it. I can't compete with it, John. It's like playing against AI. It's like playing chess against Deep Blue or whatever, Deep Red or whatever it is. You're just not going to win. Your brain isn't as good as a robot's. It can process more than you. You're just forever disadvantaged.
They do have better brains.
But you have to. That's why you have to make the weird decks that get them off book.
Yeah.
So then, how do you feel about the steeplechase Olympic event where they just jump in water from time to time?
What even is that?
Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you in 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
We have to wait because there's no evidence of this otherwise. It's only live. You can't record it.
I guess I kind of have to ask, do I like the one where they're skiing for a while and then they shoot guns?
I like it, but I like it because it's funny.
I like it because it's so weird.
Yeah.
But it's also technically it's kind of a generalist thing. But running and shooting seems more paired together than swimming, biking, and running. Like it's conceivable that I would need to run and shoot, but not.
In my example, though, playing Hubworld is very much like playing Hubworld, and then playing Hubworld. It's all Hubworld.
Yeah, but draft is so different than construct. It's a totally different part of your brain. Draft is like a roguelite experience. No, sorry. The construct is like a roguelite, whatever it is, experience where you build something, you iterate, you perfect, you iterate, you perfect, you iterate, you perfect. Draft is an in the moment, am I going to make the wrong decision every time? Yes. I chose the card that
I think I used to be a limited guy. What happened to you?
I am a limited guy, but I've never been a draft guy, really. Always
Just
sealed.
Sealed.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I don't like the unknowns. I don't like having to read the table of other personalities. I don't like that. Give me the pile of cards. I'll make the best thing I can with it, and I'll go win.
Yeah.
Which you can, of course, do with the box of Aidalon, because anything that's draftable is sealedable.
Yeah. It also, because it's a cube, it will become more. It's less random than a booster box would be, where you don't see every card in the set. So
truly.
I think it'll be easier to be good at certain formats of this draft than a collectible card game, so to speak. It's like there's only so many, and there's only 4 people that do this. So, anyways, carry on. Back to the campaign. We're almost there.
Now we're on. Well, there's the next part of this is one of the coolest parts. Not this part. This part's cool. It's fine.
Add-ons,
e-commerce.
Okay.
Retailers.
Rules of the game. We know that, but can we talk about constructed agents affiliation? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
Oh man, the faction splash rule is the best thing to ever happen to card games. It maybe has been done before. We obviously haven't played every card game on the planet.
Not yet.
Close. So cards all have what I'm calling a threshold. Do they call it a threshold? It just spoils brain for me.
Affiliations. Determine the affiliations that you're allowed.
Affiliation icons. So we probably call it a 2 affiliation, 3 affiliation, 4 affiliation card.
Mm-hmm. A card with 2 green affiliation icons, for example, requires that you include 2 green agents in your deck.
Yeah, so you get 6 agents in your deck, right? You have to include 6 agents. Mm-hmm. Those all can be one of 4 colors, right? So you can have 2 blue, 2 green, 2 orange. You could have 1 orange, 1 purple, 3 green, and then the other one, 1 blue. So you got to get to 6 somehow, and how you disperse those colors is going to tell you what cards you can then include in your constructed deck. So if you run all 6 green agents, you get access to 6 affiliation cards.
And so we're talking about power level here. I think it's important to pull this up. This is a 4 Omniworks.
So you can run any number of orange cards, 4 affiliation, 3 affiliation, 2 affiliation, 1 affiliation. any number of them in your deck. You could have an all 4 affiliation orange deck if there were so many orange 4 affiliation cards. But you have to have 4 orange agents in your deck to access all 4 affiliation cards for deck building.
And importantly, 4 out of 6.
Yeah.
So
they have confirmed there are 6 affiliation cards. So there are pure mono cards that you gain access to if you run all of that agent.
Which is cool because if you delve and you see this card on the top of the deck, you now know they have 4 agents of that color in their deck, which then starts informing cipher costs or other things you have to do, or what could even be in their deck.
Obstacles, traps, etc.
Yeah, you see this and then you see blue and you see green and you know it's like, oh, they don't have this color and they only have 1 pip on these 2. And like...
Yeah. And we're going to call it pips, right? Did we all agree with that?
Yeah, they're calling it pips in the chat.
Okay, good.
The guys.
Pips in the chat.
People.
4
pips in the chat.
We got pips in the chat?
Pips
Andrew,
in the chat.
Corey, they're
Pips in the
saying they're
main
pips. Everybody's saying pips.
Pips. So you can run all your 4 pip cards. See, I like the idea of like maybe like a 5-1.
I'm probably a 3-2-1er.
Yeah. It's going to be like the 2-2-1-1.
I actually
decks.
think what will end up happening is there will be a specific card that will dictate everything. So there will be a 4 pip card, and it's like, I'm now building my entire reality around playing that card. Or a 3 or whatever it ends up being. I'm
absolutely with you. And do the Seekers have pips, or can you run any Seeker?
The Seekers have pips.
They do not have pips do they?
Let's see if the new ones do.
Do you have to run at least 1 pip, 1 agent to get access to that Seeker, I wonder?
Or does your Seeker provide you a pip? No pips.
There's no pips on that bad.
But I will, let me put
Is there a rule? Maybe we should read the text.
Well, hold on.
I cannot be bothered.
There we go.
Your Seeker requires a certain number of pips as well, allowing you to splash them around. So Chairman Bo Pax might require you to run 2 green agents to get access to Bo. We just don't know how or why or what that looks like yet.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
I mean, for all we know, Jayco and Ace could be a 6 pip purple agent or Seeker.
That'd be devastating.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, it's probably not. There's no pips on the preview decks. Says Andrew Fisher. Hi, Andrew.
There were some questions about how draft works, so here's your draft play right now. We already talked about how great that is.
You draft the Seekers face up, and then you basically build packs and then send them around.
Pretty cool.
Like shuffle cards out.
And if you have 4 boxes, you can do 16 players. Now that's a draft, buddy.
Now this is drafting.
All right, and that's cool.
And then you got some really. Whoa, look at those great videos.
Whoa, look at that! My favorite. Well, look at that. Just stands out, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, someone really must have spent some time on that thumbnail. They kind of like.
Looks kind of similar to this one.
It looks similar to this playmat we're on.
Oh, wow!
Very cool. And then look, and then we ranked above Jamie. We ranked above Jamie in the list of importance.
Take that.
That's definitely. I'm sure that was
Stegmeyer.
Intentional. If you're out there, Jamie.
Stonemeyer Games, and Dan. Dan had a really nice write-up. Did you read that blog?
I did.
It was a very good blog.
And then Mission of Sustainability. You love to see it.
I like that just very in nature picture of all those, the product and the trophy.
Can I tell you something that that Earthborn Games does really well that I like? It's all too common in our consumer stuff that you use the environmental sustainability thing as the pitch of the product. It's like, here's all the sustainability stuff, and then also it's an average toilet paper. I say that from experience. Because that bamboo...
I've found some good bamboo ones.
There's some good ones, but there's also some not good ones.
I think they're trading on the backs of sustainability. I'm pretty sure this is bamboo.
Yeah, and it's like, but yeah, they're trading it. It's all leaves on the packaging, and it's like, ooh, you're supporting the earth, but the product comes second. And with Earthborn Games, every time it's the product stands alone, but then we're also doing it this way.
Yeah.
Because we believe in it, not because we need it for marketing.
I can't tell you how happy I am. There's no shrink wrap on this stuff. It's so much better.
I agree.
So good. Thank you for that. Honestly.
You want to play?
All right. I do want to play.
Any questions, Jonathan? Pull up, and we'll get you shuffling.
Yeah, actually, this is a notable piece. You can scroll down a little bit. This is another thing. So somewhere, I don't know if it's even here, talking about fulfillment, and there's an estimate of it keeps getting longer.
It's like January 2027.
27? Which hurts my body.
With the state of things right now, I would say estimates are pretty hard.
Well, I think this hints back at the kind of the authenticity and genuineness of this, which is it would be really easy for them to say a much shorter timeline and then get there and say, oh, it took longer than we expected and we bumped back. But I think this is completely from experience. It's sort of like actually having a funding goal be a funding goal of this is the worst case scenario we're picturing. And so instead of projecting and being wrong, we're going to project a realistic. And if we beat it, cool.
Yeah.
But like, let's just be realistic about the expectation. I've seen crowdfunding campaigns do this.
Yeah. Oh, all of them. Everybody wants to do this way, right?
Crazy.
Honestly,
Nobody likes bad news.
This is how you know that Andrew is like a professional. Like at some point in any professional artist career, if they're going to remain a professional, they have to realize they have to under-promise and over-deliver, even though everything inside you wants to do the opposite of that, or just make amazing promises thinking that you can do it instead of being like, I'm going to do the thing that makes people a little bit hesitant and deliver on that more, or even meet it so that they don't get disappointed. It's a long-term play.
It's initial disappointment rather than constant disappointment.
Well, and I think that's being willing to be a little bit disappointed right now with the timeline, to not create a lot more disappointment later, is a choice. And so it kind of is like choosing the LCG model, honestly, or the non-collectible expandable card game model, which is TM. Which is
NCECG.
You are actively choosing a thing that it probably creates less immediate money for you. Where if they just done this as a collectible game, this campaign is already going to make them more money than what they've done.
It's probably at $500,000 already.
Yeah. If they promised Q2 next year, they probably have more people willing to back the game and spend money and all this kind of stuff. So it's being willing to be real and not even transparent, but just honest with people. Taking the hit now, and then if they can deliver in Q3 of next year, we're all going to lose our minds.
Yeah,
and
it's just sustainability through and through, right?
Yeah,
this timeline is sustainable. This price is sustainable. This goal is sustainable. Jonathan, can we pull up one more time the page? Can you go down? I just want to shout out the actual team that they listed because, like, a lot of times, all of us gamers kind of overlook that.
Part of the timeline is them baking in and making sure their team has enough time for finishing the art, testing, and development, and they also want to be ahead so that once this does hit, they don't have delays. Which we've seen in the monthly LCGs having problems being monthly.
Oh man,
because it's so hard to put out something once a month.
Well, let's look at the people that you're actually buying into here to make this kind of a game. Michael Boggs, game design and content development.
The Bogginator.
The Bogginator. So interviewed Michael Boggs when he was at Famous Fight Games a few times, working on primarily Android Netrunner. That was our main thing he took over after Damon, I believe.
I think so.
And
he's the one that started the upswing of Android Netrunner. He
really did he did a great job with Netrunner. Really understood the core mechanics, what made the game great. He really did. He really did. Not to dive in too much to that lineage. Corey DeVore, game design, content development, concept artwork, and illustration. This is Corey's really out of the gate card game. Corey worked on minis a lot, did a lot of sculpting. Obviously a very creative person, and just was the one that really pitched this idea, and Andrew loved it.
It's really cool to see people going from, even Andy Navarro going from customer service at FFG to head of studio to now has his own studio.
Yeah.
Similar here with Corey. Just awesome to witness that kind of personal growth.
Then we have Andrew Navarro, the nobody who founded Earthborn Games.
The nobody.
He was a key member of the creative team at Fantasy Flight Games. Obviously, they're not even they're head of studio. Okay, yeah. 8 titles currently found in Board Game Geek's Top 100. Twilight Imperium 4th Edition, Arkham Horror card game, Marvel Champions, but also just a lot of just everything swirling around FFG during the golden age, as we refer to it. He was involved in all of that, whether it's art director or then head of studio and all of that. As Andrew Fisher, design direction, game design director at Earthborn Games, accomplished designer and writer, 15 years of industry experience. We need to talk to Fisher.
I agree.
I need to actually meet and really get to know Andrew Fisher.
I tossed around the idea in the room about going to Minnesota at some point. But we just had a lot going on.
Led development on a wide range of products, including digital games, table RPGs, miniatures games, board games, Lord of the Rings, Journeys to the Middle Earth, managed the Madness 2nd Edition, and got in on the Cosmere role-playing game.
Yeah,
that's a career move right there. That's a good idea. Evan Simonette,
that is a career move.
Doing some great work in this game. Professional graphic designer, illustrator, over 10 years. Features in Arkham Horror, Marvel Champions, Star Wars Legion. Very heavily in Earthborn Rangers and Hubworld Aidalon. Obviously, Robert Brantseg, which is a new name I've not seen, creating art for tabletop games for nearly a decade. Did a lot of things for Warhammer: The Old World, Star Wars Legion, and Descent: Legends of the Dark. And then finally, Joe Banner, who is a good friend of Andrew Navarro's from like high school, as I understand it.
No way.
Yeah.
That's okay. I knew he was
Very old friend who's basically just like creates insane sketches and concept art that like launches 1,000 ships.
Worlds, yeah.
You know, it's amazing. And so he's just a very clearly going to be a very cool dude, and has a lot of, I think, the early kind of those early ideas and concepts and kind of the wild card stuff that gets thrown out and then it gets integrated into the world.
As I understand, a really good person for Andrew to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, definitely.
There is one question.
Yeah.
And, we can talk about it. I think it's a personal opinion thing, but it has been coming up second to the price discussion, so it's worth
Yeah, I'll
talking
talk about the font. I know maybe that one could get used too, but I find the new Barrier and Presence font harder to parse quickly.
Well, it's hard for me to
Maybe.
say until you physically have it in person. The presence of a card and text and whatnot when you're holding it versus a digital file is very different. So
Yeah, I can't say anything for certain. I mean, I think I said this in the Discord. Like, I just trust that the team is aware of that kind of stuff. I mean, they know how to design things that are for colorblind folks. They are testing the game. They're constantly playing with the cards. They're always, I mean, so, people say, oh, council and comments is confusing. And then it's like, probably not, actually.
yeah,
After like a month.
I'm even starting to say Forge, Unforge.
I mean, yeah, retrospective,
res,
every
et
game
cetera.
I've ever played is confusing or hard to understand what's going on in a card or those kinds of things.
Before we dive into gameplay, would you like to share a quick word from our new sponsor?
Our new sponsor, offering a higher paycheck than both Nalgene and Clean Canteen, is Hydro Flask. Now on sale at your local Whole Foods in the clearance aisle.
Your local Whole Foods. Whole Foods is owned by Amazon at this point, right?
Yes.
Strange.
Yep. But in the trifecta of Trader Joe's, Reese's, and Whole Foods, it is the only place you can find certain things, like weird things, like that thing that tastes like black licorice.
Trader Joe's
Fennel.
is the bomb.
It is the bomb, but you can't get like a fennel bulb there.
No.
But I'm not
you
going to
can-
get it at Reese's either. I
You can
can't
get
find
some
it at
great
Reese's.
mixed nuts.
I'm
You
not gonna
can't
get it at
you
Whole
can't get a
Foods.
fennel bulb anywhere.
You can get it at Whole Foods.
Ah,
That's why you go.
I see.
That's his whole
So
point.
I literally bought a fennel bulb, some kimchi, and a Hydro Flask.
Hydro Flask.
Nice.
And then I wrote out, of course, I wrote to Hydro Flask at hello.com or hello@hydroflask.com.
They sent the contract to me. We signed it, and now here we are talking
said,
about the
hey-
greatest water bottle of all time.
We had a short, hit 18,000 views within 48 hours.
That's right.
Where's the money?
We made 2 cents on that short.
Did we?
No, I'm just kidding. We don't have ads enabled.
Yeah.
Is that right?
We
Andrew?
could have made 2 cents.
Anyway, the font, yeah, who knows? Is it? I can understand the concern. It kind of maybe hard to get used to, etc. But
Completely unprompted by our sponsor. But Andrew Cartwright saying Hydro Flask is the only one that doesn't use lead in their bottles. Fun fact of the day.
well,
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
thought Clean Canteen was in fact clean.
and
but
Andrew's check
perhaps
is in the
not.
mail.
Unclean canteen, more like it.
Yeah, now we're being paid to actively diss the other
Yeah,
brands.
definitely.
That's why you got to send that check in quick.
One's got lead, one's got microplastics. You never
I
know.
expect monthly checks, and as soon as they stop rolling, we're gonna start dogging.
Yeah, and yes, I don't want to discount the font is harder for some people to read or maybe it's
Yeah.
hard to parse. I don't know if that's the case, but I guess I'm not concerned because I know that by the time this game is delivered, it will be as close to perfect as possible. It'll be better than I can
Approaching
even
perfection.
expect it to be. I cracked the Earthborn Rangers box open, not a single disappointment in that thing.
Yeah, they got it.
And that's been my experience with the way that this team operates and the people involved. So again, Earthborn, take the wheel.
Hey, we're at 192.
192, 8,000 left, baby.
8,000. We need, what is that? 80 people to buy?
Everybody can just back, and then we can celebrate, and then you can cancel your pledge.
Or, hear me out. You can back, we celebrate, and you don't cancel your pledge. What do you think?
I'll run this by you.
You know,
I mean,
you
you
know
know,
what
you-
makes this actually so amusing to me is that like Imagine being Earthborn and this is your campaign. Like how much more serious, or the undertone has to be a little serious because it's real.
Yeah.
But this is like fictitious. Like we make nothing off of them people backing this thing.
That's right. We have no.
But if it were our campaign, I would never be like making these jokes or making light of it. Anyways,
that's what we're here. We're the mouth. We're the mouth of mouth of the industry.
Mouth of the industry. Yeah, I could go a lot of different directions. Bobby, it's good to see you. Bounce around.
Very good things.
Shout out to Earthborn for making
we're
these decks
not
available.
we're not doing the tokens. Just
No,
straight
we're not
up.
doing
Just
tokens
kill the
anymore.
dream.
We're just not doing tokens.
It's not happening.
Listen,
I'm
here's
sorry.
the thing too. When we got into tokens, that space was wide open and nobody cared about anything looking good, and it was Litco. And then we started doing a bunch of stuff, and then printers and lasers got cheaper, and then people started doing it out of the garage.
People
and then
that
all
cared.
of the different Etsy shops popped up, and all the different online shops popped up, and they were doing good work, and we just didn't need to be there anymore. Jonathan had much more important things to do, like making shorts that hit 18,000 views in 48 hours. So I'm saying it's basically viral for tabletop.
It's true.
Basically viral for tabletop mini card games.
Not that I didn't absolutely love working on the tokens,
Yeah.
but
It's also
our local manufacturer as well has moved on, more or less.
more or less. There's a lot of a lot of ins and outs and what have yous. All right, you ready to play?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm
play.
gonna do.
Oh, let's do that.
Chaos draft.
Yeah, like
We
that.
just can't be the same person.
We'll draft from the same.
All right.
This is
who?
This is you, and this is me.
All right. I'm Abnus.
Bopax.
What does Abnus do? Oh, he exhausts for a credit.
No, not if you're Jesse, the winning agent. He believes in Abnus.
I do too. I played against a friend of mine, Matt Garner, who you're familiar, local. And he was making things happen with Abnus that I couldn't even conceive of while we were playing. And it was like, I don't get it.
Well, did you read the ability?
I know, but he would do a sequence of events, and it was like, man, that really worked out well for you. I don't understand.
Nice. I like that.
Even seeing it, it's like I don't understand how you're doing this.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress. We'll do our best to exhaust and gain a credit.
All right, mulligan for this game is the good one, right?
Insufferable, yeah. And we draw 7, right?
No, we don't.
Just trying to test them.
Wow.
Yeah. So don't need that. Don't need that. But everything you send could end up being something you don't want that you draw. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, this is good.
Yes.
The last time we played on stream, I got agent flooded, and it was painful. So let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, you do hope that.
Chub Frog's got some tips for you, Zach.
Some of Abnus' value is just in his threat. He can make your opponent expend extra resources defensively, preventing you from exploiting him, even if you never end up using him. Is there a word for that concept?
But I'm not going to do that. But that's you know what, Zach? No, I disagree with that entirely. I'm going to war with Chub Frog on this one.
Uh-oh.
If you know that ability isn't good enough to use, and so the upside of it is that I'm supposed to not know that it's good enough for you to use and therefore defend against it, even though you know that it's not good enough to defend against, then that's just me being bad at the game.
Well, I think more importantly, we both look at this and we know if I run archives, I can get a random card off the top of your deck in your archives, right? Because it's after you complete a breach.
No,
on
from my
archives,
hand.
Exhaust this card and archive the top card of your commons.
You lose a card from your commons.
and you lose a random
I
card
lose a
from
card
your
from my
hand.
hand.
So if you see him across the board, having a situation where there's no barrier between me and your archives, you can't just stack up stuff in front of your hand in your deck and protect yourself. Like in tax me.
No, not totally.
I can run archives and randomly get cards out of your hand, which is something that exists. Does that actually present enough of a threat for you to play any differently than if it didn't exist? My stance currently, given the preview decks, is no. But
you can see how the blue faction would support that strategy.
you can.
Also, if you get stuff out of my hand into the archives, it's the cheapest way to steal an agent, which is notable. No additional cost. And for me, I'm thinking it makes your R&D more exposed because every time you use the ability, I get more access. So I'm not necessarily worried about protecting this. I'm saying I should go hard on commons. If you're going to start milling yourself, that just means I get to see more cards. But I have to pay more to steal your cards than you would have to pay to steal mine. But you never know if there's an agent in my hand.
But the one way Matt was using this productively is someone would delve on his commons and see 2 cards, and neither of them were agents, or it'd be a card he doesn't want. And so then he would run in archives, get rid of the random card he doesn't want, and then get rid of a random card from your hand.
Right.
So like
then if I run again, I see a fresh card.
That's right.
So that's kind of the trade-off. And this is the other thing too, though, is that you removing a card from a hand is better than you removing a card from your deck, just because it's an action to draw a card. Those cards have not consumed an action for you to have. I have actively spent an action to draw, even if it was start of the turn. So ripping my hand down is also still giving me less options to play obstacles and those kinds of things. So there is definitely value to it.
Yeah,
there's definitely value to it.
We'll
is
see if
it
I can
more value than gain 3 if you have heat. You know, like.
That's
the
question.
How hard are you going to go on bow packs, Steve?
How hard?
Yeah. How many actions do you think you're going to use this game?
Well, I'm gonna make Zach play a bunch of stuff in the front row.
See, this is okay. Let's just compare these 2 cards real quick. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
So
the competitor.
If you compare Bopax to Abnus, I absolutely 100% have to respect this ability. Like this will, from the first action that we take, change what I do as a player.
That's right.
Undoubtedly, like 100% of the time.
Must.
Whereas Abnus doesn't quite hit that. Now, I'm not saying there's any problem with Abnus. Side note, I'm just saying from just strictly this part of the ability, that's the difference.
But you could also run first click and just
you can't delve first click.
Well, second click, you could run and just steal one from my hand. If I put a card here, you get access, baby.
Yeah. Anywho, he also does have the, as I mentioned earlier, exhaust gain a credit or gain a shard. So compared to exhaust gain a card, if I had to choose between that stat line, I would choose Abnus.
Yeah. But now that also puts an opportunity cost of 1 credit to use that ability.
Which
makes it even weirder.
It does make it even worse somehow.
Who's going first?
I digress.
Let's roll the D12 of progress.
Evie Stevie.
Evie Stevie. Zach's going first.
All right. And I cannot... it's funny, I almost did this. It's like, hey, I'm going to put these tokens down here for my actions, and it's heat tokens, which is absolutely just the worst choice I could possibly make.
Yeah, that's completely wrong. Can you give me my data tokens?
Here's this. Green is, I haven't used it, right?
I'll grab some
yes.
more.
What do you say?
You guys want anything from the outside?
Yeah, if it's 195,000, I'm going to have a Pacifico.
195. Wow, you're
Oh, man.
lowering the threshold.
I want a Pacifico.
You can just have a Pacifico.
No, I can't.
Here playing Hubworld. We're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of a logo.
People have to spend money for me to have a
You want
beer.
these?
Yeah. I don't need anything but the credits. I don't need the tags.
Well,
all the things you're grabbing, I don't need. The things you're currently grabbing,
there's credits here.
Don't need.
I'm going to use these.
192.5. I'm almost in the Cerveza.
Cerveza. All right, first, and you can't delve on your first thing.
Neither can you.
Yeah, both players. First action, nothing.
So this is...
We do have a very important question. Whoever's not playing can answer it.
1,200 legal cards. How the heck can I store and sort this bulk of cards in a box?
What would you do with that many cards?
I'll tell you what.
It's a good question.
This one has 3,800 written on the side of it.
I bet that number is larger than 1,200. You can probably fit them in there. What is that, Steven?
That's 3 instances of 1,200.
You can fit many collections in this.
It's a box for your bulk.
Conveniently named bulk box.
A lot of. Wait, these are Jonathan's sorcery cards, right?
Yep.
Did I ever break down that sorcery deck?
I don't think
The Templar deck? I need to put that back in.
Brick, stuff the cards into an algae ball.
Anyway, yeah, get one of these bad boys. You can have. Honestly, you could have an Earthborn Games box with your Earthborn Rangers and your Hubworld.
This is the one time this whole stream I'm not going to be joking. Because everything else was a joke, by the way. Just kidding. Yeah. These boxes are phenomenal. I can't recommend them highly enough. Made out of fully recycled material, manufactured here in Oklahoma. Huge fan of bulk box. If you haven't heard of those, please do check them out. I think it's a great company, a great product to support. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is probably think about my life. Wow, this is hard. I will do this because I'm not a dummy.
Okay. I'll install here.
Yeah, and you're going to want to come and get rid of that so that you can do your thing. Oh, hold on.
Wait, what do we call it? It's not install.
Oh, man. Jonathan said, do you want anything? In my brain, I told him yes, and I didn't. I didn't say yes.
What is this called? Staging.
Staging.
We're going to stage this card.
Yeah. My second act is I'm going to delve on your comments.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Instant?
Nope.
Instant?
Nah.
Instant?
I don't think so. But I do want to pay to give you a heat.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me see if I instant here. So I could use this ability to draw the top card if I knew it was like an agent or something I didn't want you to see. I don't know what that card is. There's no need for me to use an instant here. Ergo, you will not successfully breach. You can pay 1 to add a heat.
I'll pay 1.
I'll get the D12 just in case this game goes completely sideways. I'll put it right there. And then you will see the top card.
We both see it, or I just see it? I think we both see it.
We both see it.
Yeah, we both know.
Do we both see it?
I think we both see it, yeah. I'm 99% sure.
Is that how Netrunner worked?
No, Netrunner's hidden information. Like, I would see that you have Hedge Fund on top of your deck and you wouldn't know it.
We don't both see the card, do we?
Yeah.
Really?
I may not read the rules, but I remember them.
That's crazy. I just like blacked out.
Yeah.
Salvage rats, baby.
Let me okay, let's pull this up. This is the new Noir version of Salvage Rats. Rush as an instant, pay this card's shard cost to stage it forged. While this card is forged, it gets +1 barrier for each adjacent unforged card. It's an obstacle. Okay,
So,
that's yeah.
Long story short, for all of our viewers, if this is in my hand, Zach encounters this, let's say skips it, gets to this instant window. I pay 2 to rush this. It's +1 because of this adjacent unforged card.
If things here, it'd be a 4.
Now it's 1 obstacle cost. He has to pay 1 to get through it and then 3 to trash it. Now, otherwise, you could just stage it like normal. You don't have to rush it, but it's an instant speed ice.
I will pay 3 to put it in the bin.
Are you crazy?
No.
Why do you hate spoilers so much?
Because I want to be the one to play the spoiler. See, but after that's over, we'll fun run a game.
Okay, so you basically wasted a fun run. Love it.
I traded a card for a card. You see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Over to you.
Install. Stage.
How proud we are. I'll stage. Here. We got to keep stacking them deep in that front row.
That's your last action, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I will take my last 2.
It smells to me like you've got goods in your hand. This situation. But that's Netrunner brain. These may not even have any
Who
barrier
knows
costs
what those
whatsoever.
even are?
I bet, you know what? Let's just make a prediction.
Okay.
That's a shard winner.
Okay.
Yes. This is the thing that's better in your front row. Whatever that card is.
Okay. Love that. Good game.
I don't know the name of it.
Crushed it.
You're doing here. Let me see my instant window.
You can either forge it or not. Up to you.
Don't like this. I will not forge it.
Is it a trash can gate? Is it a barbecue gate? If it's a barbecue gate, I'm going to be very upset. I would like to discover that card.
You're gonna discover this card.
It is a barbecue gate. You gain 1. I'm going to pay 4 to trash it.
Woo! Gone. Hot dang. And this is your last action, right?
That's right.
Did you? Oh, you took that from his hand.
No, it was right here.
It was stage. How did he gain 1?
Discover.
Steven looked at it. I didn't res it.
He didn't forge it.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll pay 1 to give you heat.
Yeah, okay. Capricious informant.
Yeah, don't get the old one is garbage.
Yeah, look, he's hilarious though.
I'll do a fun run here.
Oh, could have seen it coming.
You need 3.
Before the turn's over, instant windows.
Yeah, hold on. We'll do it officially. Okay. So then at the end of basically that was my action is done resolving. Now at the end of my turn, we can both use instants. I actually have the first priority there if that matters. I am going to draw a card with both packs. Got 1.
Do you just do all your stuff before I go?
Yeah, technically, yeah. If we both pass consecutively, it's over. So I could do a thing and then pass you, and then you do a thing and then it passes back to me. But I could also do 5 things and then pass to you, and then I think that's how it works.
I'm just gonna start doing things.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a shard. We're gonna get all the disagreeable. Gain another shard.
I know. Also have instance to do. I'm gonna pay 2. Raise a dragon sword. Get one.
I was wrong. It's a good spot for a dragon sword.
Anything else left?
I'm good.
Okay.
So now you're the first player, and this is our first player token. Are you okay with that?
Yes. Accept.
Card and a shard.
Card and a shard.
That is funny. I ended up with the blue deck and Steven ended up with the red deck. It's driving Andrew Cartwright a little crazy. Apparently. I like to mix it up. I feel like I do need a alt art of Barbican Gate that is the barbecue gate.
Mm-hmm. It's just like a lizard man with a grill.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, just make it, right?
Or it could be like a gate made of those hanging sausages that you're all about. I guess I should not put them on my grid.
Popping these new template cards every time reminds me, like, oh yeah, they look so good.
It does feel more like official. There's a lot going on in old dude's head.
Yeah, there is. I'm gonna run your console.
This year?
Yeah.
All right.
You wanna get a money?
Yes, I do.
And I'm gonna pay 2 to trash.
Yeah. He cannot let me have economy.
Well, it does 2 things too. It gets me the front row. So now you're on clock for
Now
my
I have
ability.
to do something.
Okay, and I will access 1 card. No heat. Then where's my die of fate? I can't be trusted with these choices. 1, 2, starting left. Wish I could trash that.
So close. Over to yours truly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not going to let you have your thing. Put this card here.
That's right.
Stage it. Installing is for the birds.
Mm-hmm.
Mutton Chop. Hey! Do we know if the art on the pop-up cards is the final art? I'm pretty sure the art is final. Like if you pull up Shardware's art on the screen. But the Andrew or Corey would probably have to speak to that. I'm pretty sure the art we've seen is final. Also, shout out again to Mutton Chop for sending these awesome tokens. 3D printed them. I mean, it was quick. Like we posted the preview decks, and he was like 2 days later, these were showing up somehow. Maxine saying we're 96% funded.
Ooh, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, dude.
It's gonna happen.
Second action, I'm gonna smooth handoff. Lose a heat draw card.
That card is very good. Mine?
Yeah. It's better if I am at like 3 heat, because then it's basically $3. It's actually the worst thing right now, but it's kind of the best thing I think I had.
You have 1 credit.
1 credit.
1 shard. I mean.
1 shard. Sir.
I need like a wristband that like buzzes and stings me every time I use the wrong word. Get me out of that habit real quick. I'm gonna delve your commons.
This one? Okay.
And then, assuming you don't do anything.
Well, you've got to wait because I might have a shard rats or a salvage rats.
I know. I do like the responsiveness of the game compared to Netrunner. Like that's possible.
Did you pay 1 to give me a heat?
I'm waiting on your instant.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass all my instants.
Okay, I'll pay 1 to give you a heat. It's so funny.
You'd like to access 1 card?
I sure would. We'll get rid of that.
Well, I don't like that. I don't like that trade at all.
Can't have him floating around. Those boots, man.
Those boots, man.
Corey DeVore. Much of the art scene is pretty final, but anything can be adjusted before release. Like, a lot of it is pretty final. So, not final is the TLDR here.
Zach, do you mind addressing this?
Covenant says, it's like, what is happening? We've got a very special stream next week. We do. Our friends from Rising Empire Studios, the publisher of Alpha Clash TCG, are coming into town next week. So we'll be hanging out with them, playing some exciting things on stream.
Can we say what we're playing yet?
I think I can.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, we're going to be playing an advanced copy of their PvE release.
Ooh, come on now.
All right. I'm going to instant bow packs for a card.
It's a big deal.
Looking good.
I kind of okay. You got one. So you're about to back.
I am.
Back to back. I'm gonna install here. Watch yourself.
Full row.
That's all right.
All right. You only have one shard though. How many cards in hand?
4.
I don't love it.
What kind of a card do you install in archives? It's gotta be that a money, like a dumb money-ish card or a Telemal cluster to get you out of a hot seat. You're just wide open.
I think
I just don't have any money.
I think if you knew, you know what that card is. I think you can solve the equation. The card that always goes in that spot.
It's not the Lizard Man, hopefully. Why even waste an action?
What action?
193,000. We're 1,500 away from Steven in the Cerveza.
This man needs a drink.
Pacifica. This game's stressing me out, man.
Yeah. Okay, I get the back-to-back, so I will stage.
Your Dragon Sword. Nope, your Shard Winner.
Yeah. Then we go to the instant window at the end.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that action.
I don't have that action. No.
So then I'll pay 3. And we'll get the Lizard Man to Reason Format, and then we'll get a shard. Then we'll get a shard. And then I'll pay 3. And then we'll get 2 shards.
2 shard money.
And then do you have any instants you would like to do?
I'm going to instant for a credit. And pay 2 to Raz Kaiser.
Oh.
And then gain a credit. And then you become the first player.
Dang.
Shard and card.
He doesn't have a cipher cost?
Nope.
You gotta have 6 big ones.
7 with the Horde.
7 with the Horde.
Unless the Horde doesn't exist.
In which case you need actually 9.
I have 8 on table.
Woo!
So
Get in there, buddy.
watch out. I need to. This is hard. I don't know how I feel.
How's it gonna be when you don't stage me?
Stay there.
It's gonna be in my head the rest of the day.
Got him. We got him. You're playing a little defensey wincy there. A little defense for old Zachy.
Problem is, this could just wreck and eat.
Who knows what it is,
I
though?
don't have time to waste. I need to wait till I have more money.
16 in the middle of Miami.
That would be no money.
No whammies.
16.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. That Kaiser the Rat guy is pretty cool.
Kaiser's cool, man.
Yeah.
Because
I want to use this ability. If he hadn't done that, I want to use this ability to hit the front row on a stage. But I also want the money.
yeah,
I also want the money.
you tap him for the money.
I can either tap him to what do they call it? Exhaust.
Exhaust. Yeah.
I can either exhaust him. I can either exhaust him.
What's it clled? Exhaust. Yeah. Okay. I can tap him right back
I
to
can
it.
stage him to forge something, which removes the opportunity cost of staging and trashing the shard winner, which is good. But then it still doesn't turn on bow packs yet until I come through and trash this, or the next turn I stage there. So we're playing a delicate game, but the undefended shard winner has to be killed now. But I hate to go down to 0 credits and then only have 2 showing on the board. And if I use this ability, I've only got 1 showing on the board. So what can I even res that matters?
Yeah.
You know, just fun times in River City.
Okay. So. Okay. Got it. I understand everything now.
Everything?
Everything.
Dang.
Secret to the universe.
Awesome. And then also you got 1 card in hand?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I should at least see what that is.
It's a thing you can do.
Zach, I don't know. Okay? I just don't know. What's 1 credit worth? If in my hand I don't have a lot of ways to make credits, and I don't have an economy currently active, then spending the money or staging a card rather than. So I'm going to do some instants.
Here.
Well, I'm going to get these 2 monies before I just don't.
Yeah. I'm going to get these 2 money
Yeah.
before I don't.
And then you got any instant salvage rats?
Nope.
Pay 2 to kill the shard winner.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to access 1 card from your hand. I'm not going to pay for heat because you only have 1, and I know that I need to pay it for later. Yeah. Choose that one. Infiltrate. Okay. 2 cards in the council. Understood. Over you.
My turn.
Yeah.
All right. So that is exhausted. Its effect is still in play when it's exhausted, eh?
That's right.
But I could just go pay 6 and take that rat.
Well, depending on the status of this. 7 if this is up.
I see.
Yeah.
Or I can pay 9, 3, 6. I'm still at 8. I see. We're back.
Mm-hmm.
We're back.
Which is like... That's the beautiful thing about Hubworld. That's different, right? It's like, we're both probably thrilled if you spend 9 to take that agent. Mm-hmm. I'm jacked because I know you're a shard winner down and you're the other card that I take care of down. And you're in the poorhouse after that.
Unfortunately, I'm aware of this reality that we're discussing here.
This game is so good, man. It's really so fun. You just don't realize how much you miss it.
Even just like me putting a card here is a really subtle. Like, I'm looking at your dumb rat, and then your ability.
I'm looking at you, dumb rat.
Well, and it's like you just now if you delve and also use him to put something down
and trash this.
Now I've got like just all sort of
If you hadn't put that shard winner there, Kaiser, I run here, I try to trash this, and then I also stage. So now I'm at 2, you're at 0. Or you're at 1 in the front. Now you got to play another on the front row where I get a 2 credit advantage.
Yeah, I eventually lose.
Free heat.
How many cards in hand?
5. 5. Mm-hmm. 192,600.
We're getting there.
We are 1,300 away from the
Man,
Cerveza.
can you imagine the taste of that Cerveza?
That's only 13 people. 13 people are watching right now that haven't backed yet.
I'll tell you this, there's a bunch of people watching right now that haven't smashed that like button.
There are 13 people, Zach.
Like it's a stair step. So smash the like button.
Please.
Smash the bell. Subscribe. And then back the campaign.
And then
an angel gets its wings.
And then I'll crack a Pacifico.
And that is the angel getting its wings.
It's like whenever you hit the thing and it goes up and the bell rings. The bell ringing is me drinking a Pacifico. You know? Yeah. This is called, what do you call it? Parasocial... We're like parasocial barring together.
I thought parasocial was like the person watching feeling like they have a relationship with the person they're watching.
Yes, they get to have a relationship with me drinking a Pacifico.
It's like a Pavlov situation.
It's like we're hanging out at the bar together.
They get to ring the bell.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. and I get to.
I do like that as a
benefits
vibe
me.
where it's like at a certain number, like even at a certain number of likes on a stream, we crack into a beer.
Yeah,
And it's
we're
like,
getting
come-
dangerously close to board game bros, man.
bro.
Bro. Hold on, I get the
Yeah, where's that hat?
really get the bit going.
Yeah. It would
That's
be
all we would
funny.
do the whole time.
It
We would
would
have
be
the backward
funny.
hats, and we would just
Just
nod,
bro.
bruh. Just
Would
like,
would Zach have the belt on his shoulder? Do you think? the board
Probably.
game?
I don't. Zach maybe would have one of those bucket hats. You know,
Yeah.
I think he'd have a bucket hat with that hair coming down.
Or no, actually be a beanie.
Yeah,
That would be the most
you
bro-
got the beanie. You get the beanie.
Bro thing I could
I'll
do.
get the
yeah.
backwards hat.
And
And then every like 100 likes on a live stream, we crack another Bud Light or something.
hams.
Yeah, hams.
We're
Yeah.
in.
The official beer of board game.
That's right.
This is hard.
Yeah, game's good.
This is hard. I will, with my little eye, get a shard.
Yikes.
All of
That's
that
how you know he's
thinking.
not good. You know,
No.
it's just how you know.
You've spent an action, surely, right?
Yes.
I think you
I'm
have one of
sure.
those cards in your hand where you spend 2 actions, but you're willing to do here because you won't give me a back-to-back.
Mm.
And you're going to gain money. It's the double action card. I would put
Double
$5
action on the
it.
card. All right.
You know what we should do to skip all this likes and funding businesses? I'll bet a Cerveza that's the next thing you do.
Okay, I don't even have that card in my hand.
Oh, dang.
But nice. And I've got the back to back. So there's a part of me that wants to stack a stack. Stack the stack with a back to back. But there's also a part of me that doesn't want to do that. Let's stage a card right here for my second action.
It's getting hot in here. I declare bankruptcy. I will delve here on your council.
Okay. Okay.
Instant window.
Mm-hmm.
I will forge a transit station. It is a 3 obstacle because it's in the middle row. Right? Is this the row? Oh no, this is a column, isn't it? Is this the middle?
This
Or
is
this
the middle row.
No, my entire plan.
Reading
Zach,
comprehension test number
there's
1
nothing that
failed.
can be recovered. This is the game over moment, but
It's
we'll
in-
make you pay one.
Well, it's plus 4 trash cost.
Cool.
You thought it was plus 2 barrier.
Yeah, I was factoring that it would cost you 9 to or all 10 to steal Kreiser, but that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just take it. That's on me for reading poorly. You can pay 1 to go through,
Okay.
and then you can pay 2 to trash or 8 or whatever. You're not going to trash it.
On the upside, that transit station will be there forever.
It'll be there forever.
Forever.
Dragon Sword Transit Station. That ain't going anywhere.
So I can
going
pay
anywhere.
1, I can pay 3, and then I can pay 6.
Yeah.
6, 9, 10, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to get rid of it. I have to pay to get through that. Yeah.
Yeah, pay 1. Yeah, to get through. Yeah.
You have a back-to-back. I'm about to do something crazy.
Okay.
So I will pay 1
Okay.
to get through that. And then the next instant window comes.
I'll do nothing on that instant window.
Okay, I will. I'm going to gain 2 shards.
Love it.
And then I'll pay 3 to trash a dragon sword.
As you must, really.
And then the next instant window.
I'll do nothing.
I will res a roaring bug.
Love it.
And I'll gain a shard.
Okay.
And then I'll pay 6 to deal with Kreiser.
It's yours.
Boom. Then I won't give you a heat, but I will. Didn't I? Oh, you have a die there. I'll look at 1 card randomly in your hand.
Okay.
And it's going to be the agent with the mustache that I have to exhaust this to be able to do, but I can't because I just did the thing. Cole? Yes. Mustache. Fun run. Don't like that. All right. Back to back me.
My go, eh?
Roaring Bug is very good.
Yeah. You still got the infiltrate,
This guy.
which you didn't play, which is probably why, since you had 0 monies.
I was a little restricted there.
So I've got the opportunity here to... Well, there's no way I'm using this ability as this third action. So I'm going to go and draw a card and see what happens here.
I like that.
Love it. Okay.
Can you pull up Abness? It is... I like the color behind the Seekers, but also I feel sad that a piece of the art is missing.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll do full art on the back.
I don't want to waste the fun run now. I'd rather do it whenever you have to exhaust to move Rory, to threaten that, basically. So that's going to be my first action next turn. Without
Can you pull up
doubt.
Tristan's color?
Yeah,
real
I
quick?
thought you might want to say it.
He said, came in late. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, you're fine.
The price point of this game is a bit steep for what you get. Granted, I'm comparing it to things like Arkham where you get way more cards for the money. I do love the art for this. Can you... Is that true? Do you get more cards for the money in Arkham? My math said no, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, what were you saying?
I'm saying I don't like cards for money,
Oh, I
as
see.
if that's what the value is the cardboard.
Oh,
But
I see.
that's just...
You were saying something before that, though.
There's a lot of thoughts about how
How to play.
to play the game. I need money in it, you see. I mean, that's really
Look to see who would benefit.
that's really the problem.
Yeah, money is very tight.
You got going early, but now you're in a bit of a tight spot. But you've got to see this. This makes such a massive difference in this game. You're probably going to gain 6 more credits than me throughout this game, maybe more, just from your Seeker.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I think that is the true ability of him.
Unbelievable.
At least in the preview decks. The other ability is not completely... It's not unusable, but this is literally the moneymaker.
I don't even have enough. Like, once you get low, you're low. Okay, so then do we go up? Oh man.
Bobby's saying a new set of Arkham is 110, probably 148, which is 45 plus 65. I assume that's the Investigator and the campaign expansion altogether.
And then Mason's 250 cards, but who knows how many of those are... You have to divide by 3, probably?
Well, I think the Hubworld set has 300 total cards, roughly. So if it is on a total card count, that is a big difference.
Okay, I kind of am getting a feeling as to what I need to do here. But man, the game demands a lot of me to be decent at it.
It is tough. Even like my decision there, I assumed he had something with a barrier, but didn't know how much, and spending all my money just to clear that up. I don't know if it's right, but I feel like getting rid of this +1 and also the 1 credit.
I mean, that was 2 credits a turn.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think
too
that's,
much.
That's a lot. And like I've got that fun run that you know about in my hand, and what I'm thinking is if I go on the fun run, I see 1 card from your deck, I gain 3 cash. The 1 card I see probably is not meaningful because I couldn't steal an agent anyway at 1 credit. I think there's 1 that's 1 credit, but I think it has a cipher as well. And then I can come through sharding a card. Next turn I run R&D again, or I run your deck again. And then I have 5, so then you have to exhaust and lose 2 if you want to move Rory. But you can't do that because you would have to go here and here to get the 2, and then you exhaust and move it and lose those 2. And it's like that sets you back so much. So you probably let me have Rory and Bug for 5. And then we're kind of sitting here where we both have an agent. You've got 2 money on the board. I've got 0 money on the board. And we both have the same amount of credits. So like I'm just strictly behind.
Yeah, you have a bigger hand than I do,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
which is the advantage of
Yeah.
your character.
I mean, it's there, isn't it? The other thing I could do is I could stage a card as my third action. And then for my first action, I could gain a heat, but that is secondary to the economy problem that I'm running into right now. So I think, and what I really want to do is, so there's no other way for me to get 5 to threaten Rory and Bug. So like I think I just have to use Fun Run as an economy card, and then come back through, and you have the choice to let me have it, and that gets the economy off your table as well. So I am going to do that. I'm going to run your deck.
Okay. I assume nothing here.
Nothing there.
See,
Yeah, I'm going to choose to skip this card, which I can do because it's exhausted, which means I don't encounter it at all, can't steal it, but also don't have to pay the barrier. Yes, let's see one card.
Sergeant Cole.
That's the one. So
One
that's the one I can
cost.
actually steal, weirdly enough.
Exhaust the card in your archives pass to take them.
Yeah, okay. Well,
That's bad news for me.
it still puts me one behind on Rory, and then I will gain 3 with Fun Run. Yeah, that is bad news for you. That's like the only card that
Very
would
good
help
for
me
you.
there.
I have no instance at the end of the turn.
I don't either.
Card and shard.
Shard and card. Okay. I think I still, so I probably just have to get one the hard way. I feel like you're gonna like get unleashed on this. This is gonna make you like want to really go wild.
Me?
Hog wild. Yeah, you just need money first. You can get 3, but then you definitely lose Rory. Game is good. Game is good. I'm gonna have to do the wrong thing. And you got a fresh card in your hand. It's not Infiltrate. We just saw Sergeant Cole. We've seen Rory. We just threaten, right? Gosh. I gotta play the long game here, Zach. I gotta play the long game. Even if I still wrote, yeah, I think that's still good, right? Still good. All right, let's gain a credit. We gotta threaten you.
And you're not exhausted.
I'm not. Thank you. 194,749. I can taste the Pacifico in the air.
I can smell the beach.
We're 250 away from Cerveza. This is very fortunate.
It's so good. So if this is exhausted, you still have to pay the barrier cost to get to.
If I do want to try to steal it, otherwise I can just skip it all entirely.
Yeah. Ugh.
3 backers. We need 3 backers, about $100 each. Come on. 97% funded. 775. 200 left. $200. Here we go. Which puts us about 5,000 from the goal. 200 grand. Is this
Sorry, I'm too focused here.
this preview deck experience is nutty, dude.
It's so good.
It's crazy how good this is. I want to deck build in this game so badly.
Yeah, me too.
Ugh.
That's why January 2027 seems so far away.
Oh my goodness.
I just don't know. I think I have to give you Rory. I'll get the money at least. But then you take him, and now you're ahead. So what I can't allow, I don't think, is you take him, and you also give me a heat for free. That's getting too good. But also, you have a bunch of cards in your hand. I don't know. I'm feeling a
little froggy.
Little something.
This has been such a different game than what we...
Yeah.
Every game is just so interesting.
I'm gonna take a chance on
the
love.
freaking preview decks.
I'm gonna delve your council.
Okay.
I'll pay 1 to get past this thing.
Okay.
And then before we get to the end of times,
I'm
gonna gain a shard and 1 is exhaust identity. 1 is exhaust archive pass. So we're just gonna make a gut call on this one. I'm gonna exhaust here, and then I'll play infiltrate and we'll look at 3 cards. Worst case is information, but I don't know. I think you're loaded like a Christmas turkey or a Christmas ham. Is Christmas? Is that right?
Yeah,
Turkey
ham is
Thanksgiving?
usually Christmas.
Thanksgiving turkey. So I get 3, one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, almost 2. Oh, there's Auntie Ruth. I will lose an action. Oh, I have to pay 2. I can't do it. Dang.
Real shame there.
2.
Oh, hold on. Let me get this discover icon.
This is,
If this card is in your grid, it is not.
and then Dragon's Horde. Okay. So you have an Auntie Ruth in there.
Baby Ruth.
And I have to pay 2 for her. Okay.
2. Gotta pay 2. If she's in the grid, you gotta pay 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Second action. We're going Rory.
Yeah.
We're going 5. We're gonna access 1. Transit good card.
Me?
Mm-hmm. This is where in constructed you play a fun run every time. 194, 989. Oh my gosh! It's almost time.
I'm gonna put that there.
Okay, right. That's what you had to do.
Right.
Bopax is making the game. You know.
That's what I'm saying it from the start. She forces you to play differently. Your opponent to play. Whereas Abnus just makes money.
So now, basically, we're playing a dangerous game of where's the money, Lebowski?
Yeah. I'm gonna take an agent off top of your deck, and then I'm gonna go steal Anti-Ann.
Yes, and I agree with that.
It's intense, man.
I'm gonna gain a credit.
What's a credit?
I'm gonna gain a shard.
All right, and I get a
Last
back-to-back
action,
here.
Back to back.
All right.
I feel exposed.
Money rules the world. I'm gonna gain a shard.
Okay.
And use this to gain a shard,
Yeah.
and then we'll go to the next round.
All right. I got some actions.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Card and a shard.
Card. And then we've got one in the thing.
In the thing.
One in the thing.
In the archives.
Yeah, because I
That better not be Annie Ann.
overdrew.
Over to me.
You never know. Yeah.
I did a card and a shard. Let's put this card here.
Okay. I see.
Joseph Fernandez has a really important comment for you.
195,000.
I've never seen Steven move quicker in my entire life.
You need a Pacific, buddy?
I'll take a part of one.
Okay, I'll split it.
I just took half of his Pacifico right out from under him. It's barely 2 o'clock here. What time is it? 2 o'clock. All right. 195. Can you imagine what Steven's going to do if we hit 200 on this stream? In fact, we're just going to stay live, and I'm just kidding. Until we do. Here's a question. If you're watching this right now live, or if you're watching it back later, have you backed the campaign or not? Yes or no? I'm just curious how many people watching have backed it, are interested in that level, and how many people are just curious, how many people are just here to hang out. But yes or no, have you backed the campaign? We'd love to know. And just to throw back to the old stream skeleton days, have you backed it, and where are you watching from? Just want to know. You can leave a comment later if this is not live, or you can do it in real time. And I won't tell Steven that I said this, and we'll just see how he feels about all the comments coming in. I should have said where you're from before I started this train. I'm a little rusty, guys. You have to forgive me. All right, a lot of comments coming. Fawcett saying backed it. Most Tom, yes, backed it. Cyberrun, yes. Bobby, yes. Red T, no. Asher saying UK and a backer 83. Brendan saying was debating, but I backed it. I'm from Louisiana. Clockwork backed immediately from Chicago. Joseph Fernandez, no in Massachusetts. So if you're saying no, are you thinking about it? And if you haven't, why haven't you? Let's keep this going. Receding Samson, Idaho. Okay, Pet, I backed it watching from SoCal. It's so cool. People are watching from... We live in a weird world where you guys, all of you can just be hanging out with us from everywhere.
But primarily from Mexico.
Where the cerveza is cold.
Cerveza Pacifico, one of my favorites.
I reverted back to some old stream habits. You'll figure out why later.
That's ominous.
Scott saying yes, Arizona.
Don't put that in your laptop.
Donut Mike. Donut Mike's thinking about it, saying the price is a bit high for him.
Yeah.
Jerry Kelsey, I back too. Milk Duds, new sponsor of the show. Yeah. Well, do you have a favorite candy? Cheers. Cheers to all of you. Thanks for being here.
That's refreshing. Favorite
Really
candy?
is. Felix, first one from Europe, saying watching from Germany and have not backed it yet, considering it heavily, but says a broke student, which is why I haven't backed it yet. I totally understand that.
I'm gonna go to a baseball game. This is right. We resetted. We sharded and carded.
Resetted. Yes. Also, the 195 you're going to get through. I've never seen a faster delve in my entire life.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, man. Just a sunny day. It's just I can feel it. There's just a lot of good energy here.
Just can't actually feel the sun.
My first action is gonna be staging this card right here.
Okay. Mine.
Mine.
I would like to see Auntie in.
That freaking credit icon on your it's driving me insane.
Yeah, let's delve your council.
The middle one.
The middle one, yeah. I know that's where the heat's at. Darren saying he backed from California. DJ Uspec saying from Vienna. That's cool.
You got any instants before you hit that?
Transit station? No.
I've got some, and it'll come back to you if you want to.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna do a waterway ferry. I'm gonna shift it here. 2 to get through. You can get it. Instants go back to you, so now you can do more instants if you want. Now that you know that you're gonna have to pay 5 to get through.
Oh, because that's now +2.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is public transit, baby.
I will just face check it.
Bounce. Got it.
Over to you.
I need money so badly. So badly.
Sean Baker sent it back not only Hubworld, but also Ash's 2 great games to look forward to. He's riding that non-collectible, expandable card game high.
The problem with these preview decks, Zach, which will not be a problem, I'm sure, in the full sets, instant econ. Like, once you're low, you can't pay 2 or 3 to res something that's going to give you 1. So then you're stuck in this slog.
Don't get in the slums, man.
I know, but then is like the best thing, I think, to otherwise Rory'd still be dancing.
Well, you trashed so many of my things and you took 2 agents.
Yeah, I can't trash Admus though.
I think the thing is, it's easy to try to just finish off the game.
Yeah.
Where if you just chill, I don't have any cards in hand.
I know.
Gain some shards. Wait for your moment. Let the ball come to you.
You had 1 shot.
Knees weak. Palms are sweaty.
My second action, I'm going to gain a credit. Mom spaghetti.
Yeah, I'll delve on your commons.
Funny, by the way, we've dropped down to 194,949.
Oh, someone was cheating.
There were some Cerveza fans.
I bet it was Andrew Navarro.
Probably.
He just wanted to see us drink.
Comments?
Commons. Whenst I get there, I'll pay 2 and give you a heat.
Pass. 2 to give me a heat.
Yeah, and I'm going to regrettably not gain a shard from either of these cards because
Love that.
you have agents that require me to use both of them, and I've seen this one plus anti, but also you have agents that cost more than 2. So strikes and gutters, you know.
Strikes and gutters. First access, smooth handoff. Second access, shard winner for 2. It's the only one I could actually reasonably try to get to. It would pay off.
I will not pay it.
Just as a comment, it's pretty great.
This has gone devastatingly bad for me in the end.
In the end.
But also, I might not have any agents for the next 8 cards. We have infinite time.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of where I'm at too. We kind of got a little knifey spoony going on here.
I really hate the fact that you have seen both of your draw a card, lose a heat cards. I just paid 2 to give you a second heat again. Yeah. And then you're just gonna go back down to 1.
Yeah, I probably am. I'm gonna instant draw.
I've seen that card.
I know.
And then you're gonna play it and draw the other. You're gonna get the shard winner with the card that you played, and you're gonna lose a heat. And I'm just gonna wallow. Nice for you. We're back to 195, so we can get another Cerveza.
Great.
It's the everlasting Cerveza. Don't.
Last section on my stage.
Not a fan of this.
Shard a card?
No, I'm gonna gain 2 shards. Okay. And then I'll get a shard in the card. Okay. Cool.
All right, let's give you heat.
Don't love it. One tiny bit. Okay, so this is 2. This is 3. That's 5. Just to get in.
Mm-hmm.
You're the worst. All right, I just got to keep taxing you. I will delve. Here.
Tries a barbecue. Exhaust a lizard or I gain 2.
I'm going to see Sergeant Cole, and it's going to make me want to punch a wall.
Pay 1 to get through if you like.
I'll pay 1 to get through. Okay. And then I will pay none and see 2 fresh
2 cards. 2 freshies.
Mm-hmm.
What we call that.
As we call it in the business. Wait. Am I the first player still?
No, I should have been the first player. No, yeah, because then I used the ability to give you a heat.
Yeah. I was like, why do I still have that turn?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Now we go.
Yeah.
Disagreeable?
Believe him. Ain't got time for that.
I'll gain 1.
It goes from bad to worse. Okay. All right. I know my way to win. It has been decreed. See 4 cards off the top of what do you got left? 24 cards?
Goodness gracious.
So 1 and 6, 5 things.
Man. You still got you got a scary man. Oh man. Credit. Or the equivalent.
Gain a shard.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one way out. Did I see there's new Andor episodes? Were you guys talking about that this morning?
Yes, it released. I haven't seen it yet.
I
though.
didn't know that. I'm proud of myself for not knowing that, actually. That's how disconnected I have become from Star Wars. Next level of enlightenment.
Stage this card is my last action.
Okay, I get it back, right?
Yes.
Yes. I'll gain a shard. Gain a shard. Go to the next round.
I got an instant. Yeah.
Shard a card.
I'm in shard winner game 2.
Mm-hmm. Game set match right here.
Mm-hmm. And then shard and a card.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the first action, my friend. Did you draw an agent?
Maybe. Put this here.
Mm-hmm.
Can't have that continuing to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We are getting it now. We are getting it.
Horror Kid 9 saying, as far as I know, it's just the very, very first delve or action of the game. Neither player can delve. It's not every turn. It's not the entire first turn. It's literally just the first action you take in the game cannot be delve.
Is this the moment, you know? Like, is this the moment where I need to get in there? I just don't know, you know?
Yeah. I think you do know, actually.
I do know. Yeah, I do. I do.
I think we both know.
I'm gonna gain 2.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna run here. Commons.
I took the first thing. Yeah.
Man, what a game.
I'm gonna
Oh, just
forge
some old
Savage Rats.
Savage Rats.
So they get +2 barrier.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 things adjacent that. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So is it worth it for me to keep going? I think so. Because then if you do res what's behind it, it's way less good next time. Yeah, let's pay 2. We'll keep going.
Transit station.
Nice. Like that one. That's the one that's 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know the old gal.
We're not.
I
not.
didn't figure.
No, we're not.
All right. Mine.
Mm-hmm.
Gain a shard.
Okay. Going for the run of the century. Mm-hmm. What's that in your hand, do you think? Oh, he's a money man. He's got money.
Game's good, man.
Second action, I'm just going to do a smooth handoff here.
Ugh.
Lose 1 heat. Draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Smooth.
I got a shard.
Okay, so I get the back-to-back here. It's going to cost me 4 to get through. 4 to get through, Zach. 4 to get through. And that's where we need to be. I mean, I think, do we take a shot at just trashing the middle and then going to 3 heat next time? We don't, though. We don't. Okay. The game is in my hands. I feel that way. So I need to be smart here. I'm going to install this here.
Her life is in your hand.
I'm going to res that in a second, so it won't really matter. This here or here. Well, where you want the slot, you know? Yes.
Instant window at the end?
Yes.
What do you got?
I'm going to pay 1 just to res a disagreeable inspector, and then gain 1.
Okay.
And then draw a card with
Gain
bow.
2 here.
And then I will put 1 in the donkey house. That one?
The old donkey house.
Oh wait, I don't need to do that. I've got 5. 5 is the right number. Everything good to stand up?
Everything's good.
Card and a shard?
Card and shard.
And now I discard down. That one. All right, what are all the ciphers again? Lose an action.
Card and archives?
Does it have to be rezzed?
No. Lose an action.
Oh, I've already done that one.
Exhaust your identity.
Yeah. I think that's it, right?
I have no idea.
How many agents are in your hand right now? The one you looked at?
It's between 0 and 2.
Okay, I'm not gonna mess around here. I'm just gonna gain 3 off the bat. Because I feel like this is the kind of game where you're gonna be crazy and then you're gonna miss the window, and then you're gonna hate everything that happened. No wait, I'm not gonna gain that one. See, I can be 2. Why gain 1 when you can gain 2? So then I will run your commons, and I'm gonna pay 1 for salvage rat's ability to get through the obstacle, and then I'm gonna continue. Do you have any instants? Okay, now as I confront, I'm gonna react to give that -2 obstacle. Pay 1 to get through it. And do I want... If I pay 3 for more heat, there's no winning there, so I'm just gonna have to look at 2. I'm gonna pay 1 to trash transit station.
You got it.
And then I'm gonna go all the way to...
Smooth handle.
Love that.
One
for
more?
you. Yeah.
Canal network.
Okay. Looks good.
You can pay 5.
No. Looks good. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, wait. Exhaust your seeker, shift a card, and engage player's grid.
Oh, you could shift one of mine.
You're the engaged player? Exhaust.
Wait, you're the engaged player. I'm engaging you. Right?
I have no idea.
They changed the language on the template.
Shift a card and engaging player's grid.
So that's me.
Yeah.
So you shift a card in my
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Okay, that's -1 credit. I like that.
Let's shift this over here.
He's saying Amnes is... we don't care about Amnes this game. Forget Amnes.
Mine?
That ability is as useful as Zach predicted it to be for himself.
I mean, I knew myself. I don't know if it's me or the game or whatnot. Okay. Mine?
Hey, we just need about 4,000, and we get this puppy over 200 grand.
And then the champagne comes out.
That's right. Everyone's waiting.
The shirts get torn.
If I win, everyone's gonna back, and if you win, everyone's gonna back.
I like our odds.
because they will see that this is a freaking special game that isn't about dollars per cardboard. It's about the brains and the artists and the vision that went into making this experience happen on a table. Is that worth 80 to $100 for? We've seen a fraction of the set and are already getting that much value out of these cards. Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
Now, of course, if you don't have $80, nothing's worth $80.
That's right. I'm gonna delve here. I don't want to pay 2.
Mm-hmm.
You see.
I get it.
Then we'll keep going. Are we good to proceed?
I don't know. I'm thinking about stuff.
Okay.
Let's think. Let's think about some things.
I bet my entire game on the fact that there wouldn't be another agent on top of my deck. And that you have lots of agents in your hand. That was my...
That's not a bad. That was a bad bet there.
My gambit. That's one of the beautiful things about games like this. Your opponent might be agent flooded and you have no idea.
No idea. No idea.
Kryzar going here so early and you stacking it deep in the middle was like suspicious.
It's pretty suspicious.
But I also, seeing it all come together, felt like you were... The scenario you created was very taxing. And it gave me the chance if I don't get rid of it, you're just going to like steamroll me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we've got a lot to worry about here, my man. Lots to worry about. You've got the money. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey. I kind of needed to hit it. I need to hit that agent up there on your stuff. Okay. We're gonna take an instant. We're just gonna take a look here, just maybe get this card in. You know that we've.
It is a, you know.
It's a look.
He is loaded.
You gotta take.
He's
a look.
like a Thanksgiving turkey over there.
You gotta take a look. You gotta take a little look here, and then. Understood there, and then. And then that, and then I'll pay 2. As a telemel cluster. After it's rezzed, I can throw a card in there.
Have I paid to get past this already? I'd have. Right?
Yes, you did. Yeah. You sure did. This is where you got to be good at the game, I think. 2 there, 2 there. I'm gonna stage this card here. I'm gonna use this to draw.
He's squirming. So we go here.
Oh wait, yeah, you're still there. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not doing any of this until you're here.
Oh, I see.
that cool?
I see. Yeah, you're hiding a little AG.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm past that already.
Yeah.
So we'll keep going.
3, 4, and then you got okay. And then you want to trash the shard one?
I don't.
Okay.
No, we're at the end game.
Would you like to give me more than 1 heat?
Well, yes, I would, sir. I'm gonna give you a heat.
Don't you play infiltrate?
I'm also gonna play.
Oh no, he didn't.
I'm also gonna play.
No, he didn't.
So you go to 2 heat. I get like 4 cards. How many cards are in your hand?
I got 6.
How?
I drew a lot of cards, my man. We gotta shuffle these real good. You know, we don't want to lose it on the shuffle. You know.
You said you have 6. I'll do the Steven technique.
How many? This is your second action, right? It's your second action.
Second action. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can lose 1 to Annie in.
Yeah, she may be in there, or she may be on the table. You know. There's a world where you put Auntie down somewhere on the board with a telemail, and then you pay 3 and draw 3 cards. And then you really stuff it. Well, 4, but she costs 4 to res in my hand that I can reference easily. It's a D6 right there.
Yeah. I'm doing the Steven method.
Okay, it's never
1,
failed.
6. 5.
Yep.
Auntie-Anne.
It's just
I'll
2
pay
there.
2.
2, and you lose an action.
Lose an action.
Easy.
All right. So we get 2 more chances. That's what's behind door number 2.
Yeah, 3 more chances.
Oh, yeah, that's even better.
Oh, hot hands, dude.
The die of fate.
Yikes, 3
How
to take.
in the world?
You got
How
3.
many were in there?
That was it.
And then you put one face down. Was it Rory?
That was Cole.
Oh, man, you were stuffed.
Yeah, because I knew that if Cole was down here, I could at least next time you come through pay 1 to make you pay 4 to steal it. I didn't have. So I need you to not hit an agent here. Basically the 5. You had what, 3 shots at a 5 card?
4 shots out of 6.
4 shots at a 6, and then it became 3 shots at a 5. So you had a 20% chance per shot 3 times. What does that equate to?
So there was 1 left, is what you're saying?
Do you keep it revealed every guess or every time? So then it's a 25% chance at a 4 card, and then a 33% chance at a 3 card.
And the odds of missing all 3 is 80% times 75% times
Yeah.
66%. So it was probably like a 30% chance to miss or something.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact math, but
That was awesome. I had Auntie Ruth and Dr. Twilight and Kaisar were my first 3 draws.
oh, after we started.
Yeah. Well, my first draw was Auntie off of the mulligan. So then I had 4 cards and then Auntie.
Okay.
And then it was Kaisar. And then it was Doctor. And so it was but the game played fine.
Yeah,
Even
well,
with that, it was very close.
I think it was last time we played, I was Agent Flooded, but I had 2 or 3 in hand, and then also they were on top of my deck.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I saw 7 or 8 cards on your deck and got nothing.
Yeah, it was
Out of
always
it?
Spaced.
Mm-hmm.
Spaced where they ended up in my hand.
You played
which is
that really
a bummer.
well.
Thanks.
Ultimately, given that circumstance. When you had these 2 into that, I was slightly suspicious, but it was a good enough series that it's that might be his only agent. He was just that's a good setup.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get so much shards and pay so much to break through. And if I don't break through, you're just going to keep cashing in. So I have to.
What's really funny about that setup is that entire setup happened because I thought this was the middle row for the transit station. So otherwise, I definitely would have built it here. I think
is
because the last thing you want to do is send them on a route to steal the agent on the board, and then you have 2 in your hand.
Yeah.
That they might just randomly hit.
Yeah, suddenly you just lose the game.
But man, that
makes
great.
a lot of sense. That also, funnily enough, it's one of those things. It can be deceptive in this game because when you did that thing and you're like, "Oh no, I made a mistake."
Uh-huh.
In my mind, I'm immediately thinking, "Well, okay, he didn't mean to build this server anymore or this district."
Yeah.
And so it kind of sent me on a goose chase of I'm not assuming it's in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then I face checked because it was so good.
Maybe that was the wise
So,
move. You know?
I don't know. Perhaps you're just big brain genius.
Maybe.
All right, final check in. Let's see what our funding's
196. Only 4,000. Come on, that's enough for one more Hubworld game.
at.
I need Sweet Revenge.
Yeah. We'll see you
Man,
next time.
I can't wait to get a hold of the economies in Constructed.
I just can't wait to be in Constructed. And just even more focused around seeing two or three colors.
Yeah.
And that whole nine. If you are for some reason watching this and you haven't backed the Hubworld campaign yet, you have 12 days. Highly recommend it. Earthborn, amazing publisher, amazing studio, and I think this game is absolutely lovely. So check it out if you haven't already done so.
Man,
that was a good game.
That was tough.
The feelings you feel when you
tough.
play this game, it is its own genre of a game. It's in the same genre to me as Netrunner, whatever you would call that. It's the hide and seek playground game plus deck of cards, Jonathan's theory.
I feel like I never had money that game. I was always right on the Timmy Wong side of cash.
I think we because of how quickly the agents showed up, both of us stayed lower to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that favors Abness in that case, in my opinion, because I have the economy.
Yeah.
Whereas it was just a faster game.
These abilities get better in Constructed. The draw cards, because your card value goes up. Every card is going to be more valuable when you're building towards a game plan.
And if you're bow packs, right? Like you're gonna have things that probably stage things
Mm-hmm.
on Discovery or stage things in general. You're gonna have things that want to go in the front row.
So true. Yeah.
And so similar with Abnus, like I know there's a world where he'll have cards that benefit from running archives anyway.
Yeah.
And then now he gets the extra bonus on top of randomly discarding cards. So he never has to run Council technically.
Yeah.
And then that's the cheapest place to take stuff. So you can kind of be a little more aggressive on, sending other stuff to our... Anyways.
I wonder if like Blue will have a card or two that when it is exiled, you gain a credit or something. So that if that's on the top of your deck, Abnus can exile it with his ability, get a benefit, and then still get you to discard from Council.
Yeah, I thought there was...
Was refund on the new card on the new Lizard Man? It's gain 1
when you
trash it, not when it hits exile.
Hey, real quick, can you pull up Likely a Trap?
Yes.
This might actually be a card that Abnus wants.
Cool, Danny. Said this was a hard sell to my Flesh and Blood group, but I did get a few of them to check out the game. It'll send their brains sideways. This is like if Flesh and Blood is here, this one goes
different
to 11. Just a totally different brain space. But I mean, it's all card game thinky stuff.
Yeah.
You've been doing very well against me too. I'm gonna have to get better.
And you crushed me last time we played.
That's true.
Anywho, thank you all for being here. You ready to get out of here? I
don't know. I've got a little Pacifico left. What do you have to do? Is it bedtime already for Lily?
It's not.
You guys are on a tight ship
the
around
2:30 bedtime. No, I got a lot of stuff on my personal and professional.
What are you working on?
Work on 3.0. Step 1.
Yeah.
We have Alpha Class
anything?
coming next week. Not yet. I mean, I sent them a bunch of stuff after our long conversation yesterday.
They're trying to get the electrical done, right? So they get the EE electrical engineering stuff finished. That was like the last technical stuff.
The real thing is that the behind the bar and also behind the bar space is very particular and detailed. And we hadn't really fully addressed. We know loosely. But then we started really specifically getting in there. We had a food and beverage consultant come in and stuff, and like there was more going on than we expected.
Yeah,
in less space than we wanted.
Yeah.
So working through that, but it's crazy. It is actually hindsight 2020, of course, but the complexity scale when you go from like leasing a space to buying a space, and then the complexity scale when you go from buying a space to building a space. You're painfully familiar with this. I do know that, yeah. As a house builder is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like if you could buy a Hubworld deck constructed, that's like leasing a space that already exists. Does the thing. Second is, you could buy a set of Hubworld and build your own deck.
Yeah.
And it's like that's like buying a space. Then third tier is like, why don't you just make your own game?
Design your own card game.
And it's like,
yeah,
there's a little more going on with this process.
You've got to learn everything, and you've got to consult with people that have done it before. And
yeah, so there's that. But there's also next week Rising Empire is coming in, so I have a lot of stuff to do for that. And then there's also just a lot of ongoing. I spent a lot more time future leaning, and so there's a lot of ongoing things with a lot of our partners we're working with. Tariffs are a big deal right now, and figuring all that out and how that impacts schedules and releases and campaigns and all that kind of stuff. We're also at the tail end of like just back to back to back to back things that have been going on. So it's been a wild couple of months.
Yeah.
Cool. What are you working on?
Well, I'm finishing up the old website.
That's actually a top priority for me. I need to get the series of events and tasks lined out and scheduled. That are like not. It's no longer in the like. It's like, hey, we need a plan now.
Yeah, we need to start getting the testing phase in. We need to get the skeleton crew in. Do some testing.
The skeleton crew.
There's probably some skeleton crew folks in the chat right now. Do some testing and make sure that everything actually works.
Yeah, this is like a long time
big
coming
UX
overhaul.
Change, and it's going to matter for Hubworld and the rest. It's going to make a big difference for everybody there. And then we move on to our next project, which you and I both think is going to be revolutionary. Hope so. I mean, if people use it, it will be.
Agreed. And on that
let's
note,
see. Last thing from Andrew Fisher. Let's see. anyone involved, do we know how many of the demo deck cards got touched up? Andrew says, a little under half of them have some small tweaks. Capricious Informant is one of the only full redesigns. Though they're doing one more round of playtesting after the campaign, so there may be more tweaks before the final product.
Yeah, it's
So
cool to
love
see
that. Love to see that. And that's what you're paying for. That's why a $200,000 Gamefound is making sense, because these are all people that are getting paid to make sure that the game that you buy is not just art on cardboard, but is actually a beautiful and incredible game that's balanced and fun to play on the table, which I think is actually very important.
And using my 3.0 analogy that it ended in making your own game, like the complexity scale of designing and balancing an experience like this that is very good is so insanely hard. We get asked all the time, why don't we start making games? And it's like, I don't think you know what you're asking.
Yeah.
Like, there are companies built to do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
And they're
our
good at
company is not built to do that. I mean, we have a lot of experience with card games, et cetera, but like,
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of like someone who watches basketball their whole life being like, I could be a professional basketball player. It's like, I don't, it's fun to watch them play the game. I don't think you understand what they're doing 50, 60 hours a week physically to their bodies. And most people can't handle that.
Mm-hmm.
So, anywho.
Like Andrew Fisher is physically to his body designing this card game.
That's right.
And balancing and play testing, you know.
Blood, sweat, and tears, you know. It's really hard.
It is really hard.
It's just, I have a huge amount of empathy / understanding for what designers and developers go through.
And it is the easiest part of that process is getting all of the cards and finding out the ones that are a little bit overtuned. That's like what we're in the business of doing as card players.
Yeah.
But that is like, just because you can do that, that's the 1% of that pie. Like making sure the 99% all play well and are balanced. That's what success looks like.
Well, and I think as players who clearly enjoy the experience, looking for things that are
A little too
good is one thing, but players aren't having to consciously think, would this be enjoyable, and does this make sense as a card, and is it thematic, and does it read right, does the rules, but like even just is it fun, is it enjoyable?
Yeah.
There's art to that.
Yes.
That is not. There's a skill set where I can look through, even when we were talking about Bopax versus Abness. It's like I can tell you like which ability is more powerful, and then they balance that out with the card or a shard on the top of the corner, strictly based on these decks. Right now, Constructed could change that, but that's one thing. It's a very different skill to go from a blank piece of paper to this is an enjoyable thematic character to play in the game. That is
true.
It is crazy.
Hey, you know what's crazier than that? You're talking about Abness?
I thought you were going to talk about the Royal Game of Ur.
So I didn't fully give you kind of what was going through my head, but I also wanted to put Kaiser there and Res Kaiser because at the time I had emptied out my hand staging, and if at that moment, if you had back-to-back to Abness's ability twice, you would have put 2 agents in the exile in the discard. So maybe the ability is
I could be
good.
amateur, you know? But again, like
give you a shiny object.
it is the idea that I can just look at 2 cards, read them, and make an assessment on which one I think is more powerful. That's like 2 minutes. Actually creating a character from 0 to something and making it enjoyable and making it not strictly just better or worse than any other characters.
Yeah.
That might be months.
Yeah.
And it's months of in the back of your mind, and all these other variables are changing, and then you got to revisit it because these things have changed and back and forth. So like, the idea of making your own game is exciting.
Yeah.
I think as card players in general feel that. It's like, it'd be cool to do your own thing. And there's a reason that very few people end up actually making a game. Because it's so hard to go from that excitement to the other 99% of stuff that has to be done.
Yeah.
And translate it into something enjoyable.
Yeah, and that's the key. I think even the 5% that can get across the finish line with a mechanically functional game don't make a fun game.
We've played
so many of these budding publisher games of like heart and soul into it. Love the passion, love the energy. You've built a system, but I don't want to spend my time in that system.
Yeah.
Whereas like this is balanced, but I want to play more Hubworld right now. I will not be able to stop thinking about it for the next.
Yeah, like it was tempting when you
hour.
asked me to play again, even knowing how much I need to do before I actually leave for the day.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign.
Well, then I guess we'll get out of here. Okay, what's our count? What are we on the Gamefound? 196 probably?
I think it's 1,000,000.
196. 111 on mine. Well, I need to refresh, see if it changes. Let's get that baby across the finish line. 196,679. We're 3,000 out.
I mean, I think it'll happen today. It would have been really cool if it happened on the stream.
It would have been, but
Crack
I
the
guess,
champagne,
you know,
etc.
influencers, we are not.
Our influence is not enough.
It probably happened a little earlier to get everybody on the Gamefound to begin with.
That's
Right.
a nice
That's
way
what
to
we'll tell
frame that.
Andrew.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next time. Go back, Hubworld. It's great stuff.